All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Good evening, YouTube. How's everybody doing? We're going to try something a little different here. We get this started. Going to send out some links to some people, see what's going on their Saturday nights. How you doing? It's been a night. It's been a little bit better here. The smoke, fortunately, cleared the area last night, yesterday afternoon. It's still, I mean, it's still a little hazy, but nothing like it's been the rest of the week. We had a so that was a good part of the day. We were able to breathe a little easier, thus get outside and do a little more. So that was good. How's everybody doing out there? Getting through your weekend? I'm gonna send out the link here to invites here. See who we can drag in and be mutually miserable together, I guess you'd say. So give me a second here. Mule, you're gonna be on the list, of course, right? And we'll send the usual suspects as well. But we'll get the monologue going and give them time to catch up. Hey, what's up, J Mac? Checking in. How you doing? Let's see. We got a whole host of people already in here. Let me catch up if I can. Dash Out is with us. Hey, Dash Out, how's it going? It's a little bit late where you are, isn't it? You're like after midnight. You're just staying up late, huh? So, to start off the subject of what just I wanted to get off my chest here early on. If anybody didn't, most people aren't been paying attention, but the trial of the FBI agent that was involved in the shooting of Lavoy Finicum was ended this week. Pretty low key, pretty under the radar event, uh, and I have my own ideas why. But if it was a staged event in my mind, because they knew that they weren't going to get a conviction out of it because it was there wasn't any evidence to convict the guy off of. How it even got the charges were brought was beyond me. When you look at the charges that were against the guy for lying, basically. So Astorita had his trial. He was found not guilty on all counts yesterday by a jury. But when you listened, if you go back, if you wanted to do the research on it a little bit, look back at just the way the trial played out. Uh, there was no evidence. There was no witnesses. There was no video evidence that corroborated anything. So how it even got brought to trial was my question. Like, how did this even come up? So in my mind, it was just the government trying to say, look, we did our due diligence, we found this, and he was found not guilty, so that's the end of it. And they're going to wash their hands of the whole deal. That's my feelings on it. It doesn't seem like it was much more than that, because there was a whole host of testimonies in that case that hopefully can be used by the Finicums in a civil trial. But there should be criminal allegations brought out to all kinds of people about their involvement. There was obviously a cover up because there was brass picked up when that's not protocol, but nobody knows who picked up the brass. No, and nobody says they did it. So it's a real legitimate conspiracy of the whole um, against Lavoy Finicum and the others that were involved there that day, because it's a massive cover up. And they're trying to hang it on OSP, Oregon State Police, but question is, whose operation was it? Wasn't it an FBI operation with the support of the Oregon State Police? So who's in charge, right? Shouldn't those be the ones that get brought forth for inquisition hearings, etc.? Um, But I think it was just staged for the government to be able to point at later down the road and go, look, we did our research. This is what we found. This is our only evidence we have, and he was found not guilty. Move on, next thing. They're trying to bury it. They're trying to sweep it under the rug. Not quite as under the rug as the October 1 event in Las Vegas, but pretty much under the rug. Nobody's going to potentially, looks like, go be found of any other charges anytime soon, and it is what it is, unfortunately. But Jay Grady did some good posts on that. I'm pretty sure it's been posted on Miss B. Stacy's account as well. If you want to go check some of those videos, what's her name? Trying to remember who was doing that trial. Because at the same time in Vegas this week, they did the sentencing trials for a couple of the Bunkerville defendants. They were mostly time served and such, things like that. But still, it's the principle of the whole thing. They shouldn't have been found guilty of anything when the original supposed conspirators weren't charged or sentenced to anything. How can you charge anybody else after the fact? Or hold them when there's all this deep evidence of collusion and conspiracy to entrap people by the government, but yet, and then in the Bunkerville case again, there you go. They still were sentenced and convicted, but their sentences were pretty much the time they had served, and that was it. And that was Parker's wife that was covering that for the most part. Let me go and look at my history. My memory's killing me today. Can't remember what happened yesterday. It doesn't seem like. So let me see if I can get these videos up. So we got M. Longs with us as well. Good evening. How you doing? Links are out, folks. Mule team. You were second mule. Not quite first, at least on the way YouTube listed it. Good try. ZPD Survival, how you doing? Good evening. Checking in. All right. You can't sleep, dash out? Maybe we can lull you to sleep. Listen here long enough, you'll probably be out before no time. Well, let me see if I can. All right. So now if new evidence comes forward, they can't retry. On the Asterita guy, yeah, I doubt that there's going to be any future evidence revealed. I mean, they had the whole ballistics expert guy give this vague description of where the bullet came from and everything, and that was that. But J Max says there's no evidence the public will expect someone to go down for it. I don't know if the public's even aware of what's going on for the most part, J Mac, unless people are deeply involved. Hey, have a good night, ZPD. Hey, Broseph, what's going on? You working?
Yeah, I'm working.
All right, I just put a link. I didn't know what you guys are up to. You didn't have to come in, but that's all right.
No, I just popped in to say hi and tell you I'm working.
Cool,
I don't know
man.
how late you're gonna be on there, but
we'll probably be on for a few hours.
I'll get off at 11, so maybe I'll pop in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, come and check back in with us.
All right. Later.
Cool. All right, ZPD checked out with us. Well, J-Mac, it's not so much the ones that are elected that cover the stuff up that you got to worry about. It's the ones that are unelected. Those are the real killers that cover stuff up. The unelected bureaucrats, those are the ones that we're involved with here. It's the entrenched for lack of a better term, deep state, legitimately, that's out there. You know, that's why you never take the plea, right, Mule? And Parker and the other guy didn't take a plea, but they were still found guilty on ridiculous charges, even after all that other evidence was revealed in the other trials. But I don't know that they were able to use any of that. But there is the case that they'll probably do a what do you call that? Appeal. They probably will appeal, I would imagine. Uh, that'll be a given, I think, and that'll still have to go forward to discuss. But let me find the video from Jay Grady. Okay. And then there was the one she also shared of Andrea Parker in Vegas. And those are all on Jay Grady's channel. I think that's the only place I saw them, but they could be elsewhere. By all definitely by all accounts. So I'll put those links in the description box. When you get a chance to reboot or refresh, you'll see them down there, um, and follow those links through. But I just want to get my thoughts out there about it to start this thing off. And especially when you look at some of the trial testimony, it's pretty apparent the thin blue line was protecting itself. There was there was the Oregon State police officer almost outed the FBI. It seemed like in a couple instances, but they had to backtrack uh, in their statements and whatnot, and they were definitely getting a little nervous and a little concerned on some of the revealing of like basically the FBI was trying to throw them under the bus. When again, who was there to support who? Who was there to run the show? I'm pretty sure that was the FBI's show, and Oregon State Police thought they were helping out, and they're getting thrown under the bus. I wonder if they're smart enough to figure that out. You know, that is an interview with people will wake up and be like, we're just useful pawns in this whole mess. That's hard to say. So there's Andrea Parker in her video talking about the Scot Drexler is the other guy that was getting sentenced, and it was mostly to time served, um, but shouldn't have even been that. So, is there any more comments? No jail time, no restitution. There's another hearing for November 8th and 16th. What was that for? I can't remember what that was for. But yeah, check that video out. And then there's the one where Jay Grady checked it in. She did a quick update before she went to work. She was late, so it's kind of rushed, but she's got the links or the references, the article. Um, but there was tons of evidence of evidence tampering, the crime scene tampering, and nobody could speak to what happened. That was the biggest thing about this whole thing. All this brass disappeared. Nobody fired a shot, but yet there's shots, people dead, and it's the thin blue line covering itself up. And that's the prime example that most, and even the most, I wouldn't say diehard, but the people that fly the thin blue line flag that do support the police like to the end, they got to look at that and be like, well, something's got to be up, right? I would hope. That's my hope, at least, that they would use that as an example where the law enforcement always just covers each other for no other reason than they are all in law enforcement, supposedly. Westwind Survival's with us. What's going on? Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Are you out here on the west. Are you on Pacific time, west winds? I haven't pinned down exactly where you're at, or relatively, not exactly, but just a general time frame where what time zone you're in. I don't need to know where you're at. Don't take it the wrong way. And Walter Davis is with us. Good evening. What's going on?
What's happening?
Oh my goodness! It's like a unicorn. What's going
So you
on?
got my message, huh, Reb?
Hey, some people know how to send that stuff, and some people don't.
Message are we sending?
Whose party are we crashing here?
We're
It's your
crashing
party if you're here.
Hey, Reb, we're crashing HDs.
Oh shit! Sorry, buddy.
Man, you were on the invite list. What are you talking about?
Well, I didn't. I'm sitting here, and I get Mule hitting me up, and I think, oh, we're gonna have a little hello, and I had no idea we were nationwide.
Oh, you didn't know we were live? Like real
Hey,
live?
1,000 subs, man. We got to come in and say congrats, man. I'm not going to probably
Hell
be
yeah!
I still haven't caught you yet.
Hey, man, I got to be able to come in and say congrats, friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
No
well deserved.
Well, you
Yeah,
also
you
got to
put
make
out
your
a great-
VR, you know, right?
Yeah, I
Oh,
know
yeah.
you wanted, but man, I kind of stopped doing those a while back. You know, look, well, I'm gonna just dive right in, okay, on some of the stuff that you've been saying. You were probably about to say before we got started, before we jumped in, but there's a lot of bullshit going on with clipping people's wings out here on the internet, and it's getting crazy, right? When they start clipping Alex Jones, now we all know he's a whack job. Some things he said is true. Look what happened with Monsanto's lawsuit, right? Almost $300 million lawsuit against them for giving some guy cancer. But they're shooting down at Alex Jones. They grabbing the big ones first, and then they're going to come with the little guy. That's kind of backwards, but it's probably way more effective because it's going to get more and more people shut the fuck up. I mean, they've knocked down some big channels here in the past few days.
Right. Right, on the YouTube and other social platforms as well.
All of them, man. It's ridiculous. I think Twitter only actually kept Alex Jones alive just because they wanted to be able to say they're more of a free speech than anybody else.
Well,
but they're not. Sorry, Red,
the funny thing about it is all it's doing is driving more people to Alex Jones because they're like, well, if they didn't know him, or like me who stopped listening to him years ago because I can't stand his delivery, but it's having the opposite effect. You're not going to shut him up. He has the means, and they better just look out, because if he starts his own truth tube or some shit, guess what? You have a bigger problem now.
Is it really a bigger problem though?
Well, I'm just saying, YouTube is dead to me, right? So if you poke a bear, he has the means and capability of setting up his own social networking. He already has, really. It just depends on what scale he wants to take it to. But the thing about that is, David Knight, I listen to David Knight, man. I dig his show.
Yeah, I listen to him more than anything.
Look, Alex Jones' delivery sucked. He's at times he's had great information. There's plenty of times he's gone off the fucking rails. Right? Sorry about my language in your chat, HD, but I'm invited me.
So. No more than you go off the rails, though, Mule.
There you go. Exactly, right? But I'll tell you, I'm done with YouTube too. I'm done with a lot of these social networks. Why? Because they do stifle speech. I try and research what I put out, right? And they stifle it. They just shut it all down. I watch stuff that I post not get passed around at all. right? On all these networks, from YouTube to fucking Twitter to goddamn Minds to fucking Facebook. There's plenty of shit. My stuff gets canned. You know, no matter what, I'm using mainstream sources to prove my points, and they stifle it, right? And they're starting to they're stifling the big boys to scare all the little boys. So I'm waiting for somebody to open up a truth tube, whether it's Alex Jones or, you know, the beautiful thing that I heard this week, though, that I hope will blow all this shit up is the fact that, who was it? The DNC is suing, right, Julian fucking Assange and WikiLeaks to demand to know where they got the fucking info from, right? The hacked servers. So what's going to be beautiful to me is they're going to have to arrest and bring Julian Assange to America, right? And have him testify in a federal fucking court to the fact that Seth Rich, the man who was murdered because he had even more info, more than likely, right? And he's going to have to testify that in open federal fucking court.
Yeah.
So the idiocy of our opponents is just as shocking as the idiocy of our fucking allies. You know, who most of them are truly not allies. Anyway. God damn, I want to start the dragon again. Sorry, HD.
Hey, you can do it.
This is the dragon
tonight. The new and improved dragon, right?
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Hey,
Tony will be here. Maybe we can get Stinger or somebody in here as a substitute.
Well, that's ridiculous. And hey, do me a favor. I know a lot of the people that watch us do pray, right? Guys like us are used to in the past. You know, keep Stinger up in prayer. Something happened with the homestead. I don't know, and I've been meaning to call him, and you know I haven't because my own life's kind of hectic and busy. But you know, just keep him up in prayer.
Yeah, that video out of the blue like that he did was like, whoa, what happened? I mean, he got off and it looked like everything was like secure and everything, but dang, that was a surprise, like out of the blue.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, and you know, like I said, I have not reached out to him like I should because the number I had for him is in my old phone, and that thing now the kids play with, and it hasn't worked in like 3 years, and they keep bouncing it off walls. So you know, it's a toy phone for children. So I don't have his number.
Well, I've been in touch with him. I'm not going to blast his business on live or anything, but he's fine.
Good.
So,
anyways, so how you, man? And I'll tell you what. Like I said, congrats, HD, because you know what. And you've gotten way diverse, and I really like it. I like watching some of those goat videos. Your connections in the morning stuck. Okay, so sometimes that shit gets annoying. Listen to you talking the news, and I can't.
Hey, listen.
Crackling.
We see more than the top of his hat, so I don't care what he does. At that point, he can just rant and rave. I'm happy as a clam because I can have eye contact, so to speak. You know,
right?
It's all good. It's all good.
Small things. It gets these to make you folks happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's that lapel mic, man?
Retracted. And hey, you know, backcountry preps, we kind of scare him with all his beardness around.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, of all people, like he's scared.
Right. Which makes me laugh. It makes me think of my son. Colin just shaved his beard for like the first time in 2 years, and what a baby face! Oh my God!
Right. Yeah. So, what's the update from Rebel though? Let's hear something there. Nobody's heard from you in like Coon's age.
I ain't blasting my business up on here.
Just you're alive and kicking. Everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good, man. Me and my son were rocking out the other day. He's quite the guitar player.
Sweet. Oh, that's awesome. And you get drums for the past. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna blast your business. Anyway, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
So
we gotta talk. We got cool things coming. Oh, we definitely got to talk. But yeah. Just been busy, man. Really busy. And today was the first day I could go outside and not choke on all this smoke. So
Man, you
getting you.
guys, holy shit. California just loves shitting on Nevada, don't they?
Well,
Really?
it's funny because they got fires. They got fires burning everywhere, and they're going to burn all the way through August and the whole nine. And I just took a trip up to Washington, and it smokes all the way up the coast, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You can thank all those progressives and Democrats in California for their fucking shitty ass land management skills and not allowing the brush to be cleared or burned off, or way more often than it ever has. Instead, they just let it go to ground and it constantly burns, which weakens the soil, and then it slides into the ocean. This cycle's been going on my whole fucking life,
Right.
watching California work. And what do you expect? You guys are screwed. Same with Washington, same with Oregon. You guys are getting choked out because these fools don't know how to take care of their shit.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I've been out here for 16 years, I think it is, and this is as bad as it's ever been. I mean, literally, like it's unbearable.
You're
Literally
muted.
unbearable. Me?
No, HD's muted, and it looked like he was agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah, I think he's having a snack or something. Some jerky. He probably got some turkey jerky or something over there.
Goat jerky.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's. I mean, when it's so bad you can't go outside and do your stuff. It makes you think, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, you know what? You know where the smoke ain't? Even though it is bringing in some rain, I guess. But here east of the Mississippi, smoke ain't. But hey, you guys at least get to use your prepping gear. Some of those fucking gas masks and shit. I'd be definitely busting them fuckers out.
Yeah, people look at me weird when I go into the store wearing a bandana like I'm going to rob the place.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, hey, dude, I rock a fanny pack every day. Oh, this is my second littlest one. This is Athena, my little Athena warrior princess. Say hi, everybody. She's still probably
hanging out with Grandpa.
Yeah, her papa. She's still a little asleep. Everybody was pretty much asleep until about probably 5 minutes ago. So tired.
About that time.
Hey, I'm gonna mute myself. You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Oh, this ain't my shit anymore. Mute me, HD. I'll unmute myself.
Oh, okay. All right. Unmute yourself when you're. Right on. Looks like we got Irish USMC vets joined us. Good evening. Angel R's with us. Let me get a link out. I don't think I'm not sending more links out. But yeah, the California situation with the fires is out of control, for sure. I was down south of here, and it's like you said, the worst ever. Like, what Gardnerville has like the worst air quality in the whole country.
Is that right?
As of Friday and Thursday, I think. Yeah, they
were.
Wow. It was bad. Well, and like you said today, though, you could actually see the mountains, so it was nice. I actually got some work done today and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's funny because we had a long wet winter, I guess, and we were all looking forward to these summer months, and then we got to deal with this.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just the wind pattern, pretty much, And well, I guess the one they've confirmed is arson in that's the one down by Elsinore, not one of the ones nearby here, but the one up by Pyramid Lake. Did you hear about the one by North Reno by Pyramid Lake?
No.
Yeah, some jackass was arson there too. Started it intentionally, I guess.
Wow.
That was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Hopefully it wasn't a firefighter or a fire chief or somebody,
Well, the guy they arrested wasn't, but that's a whole other conspiracy theory we could go down the line. I think they've been getting their overtime in this year. I don't think there's a concern with not getting their hours in because it's been crazy this year.
Yeah. Well, but some of those fires, they don't have any answers on how they started. They weren't weather related. They weren't arson. They weren't, anything like that. They don't know. They can't
Yeah,
tell you
they haven't
how they
said yet,
started.
right? Well, like that one up by Reading, it was the sparks off of a flat tire running on his rim. That was confirmed.
Gee.
Like the guys behind the guy was behind the guy, followed him for miles. He was kicking out all those sparks, and the fire started right there by the roadway.
Wow.
That whole Reading deal.
So
Pretty
he's
bad.
behind the guy instead of getting up alongside of him and waving him over. Hey, you got a problem, buddy?
Well,
You
I think
know.
it was a two-lane highway. I think it was like a narrow road. It wasn't. It wasn't the interstate because it started off
Hmm.
to the west of I-5 over there on the other side of Reading somewhere or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess there's a 911 call about the whole thing about he was trailing him like this guy he won't stop. He's got a flat tire. He's the fire's starting and whatnot, and it was on.
Wow. I didn't hear about that. Yeah, I gotta come over to the petting zoo here sooner or later.
Yeah, sure. We bring it to you usually once a week, though. We usually have a video of the petting zoo
You know
once a
what?
week or so.
I'll admit it, man. I watch some of these videos and then I'm like a half hour in and I'm like, what am I doing? I have things to do. What?
You
How am
could
I
have driven
trans?
over here, seen it live by that time.
I know. I'm like,
Right.
I'm easily amused. I guess I don't know.
I guess there's something to be said for that.
Yep. Yep. Mother Nature.
Just trying to stay out of the heat is probably what you were doing. Like, I might as well sit here and cool off.
Right.
I've been doing that a lot. I'll take a break and like for long I'm like, well, I stopped sweating, but I'm still here watching a YouTube video.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Stefan
Yeah.
Minkenberg's with us. Good. I guess it's good morning for you, sir. Coming at us from the EU. Um, Hope none of this gets censored coming through your side. uh, uh, Chatting it up in the side chat. We also got Tony just checked in. Who you calling white man, Tony? You're half white. Or is it 3/4? I don't think we figured that out yet. You got a link, Tony, if you want it. It's out there. Angel 2, I think I just added you. Um, but yeah, have you been paying attention to the whole FBI trial at all? Did you hear anything
That's
about
what I
that?
was. Yeah, that's what I was watching actually when Mule sent me the link.
Yeah, that's what I started off with the monologue side of it. Just I thought it was a show trial to begin with because there was like zero evidence like you would ever take somebody to court with. There was no witnesses, no physical evidence. It was
Right.
all just bullet trajectory analysis. Is
Right.
how they were going to pin this on this guy for lying. Like
Right.
seriously, it's a
Right.
show trial just to make them think that they've done their due diligence and they're
Yeah.
going to sweep it away.
Yeah. But I think a few key things came out into the public record that will fare well for the civil trial. Which, civil trial. What does that mean? The taxpayers really will be on the hook.
Now, that's an unfortunate side of it. Any money that comes out of that to the Finicums is going to come out from all of us. It's not like
Yeah.
the agents on the ground there are going to pay for it out of their pocket.
Right.
Yeah. Just listening to some of the reports out of there, it's like, yeah, there was a ton of evidence coming out. Like, oh yeah, you could definitely use that in the trial.
Love
So
it.
there's obviously collusion. There's obviously a cover up because nobody knows who picked up the brass. There was no brass. Nobody claims to fire any shots, and they're trying to pin it all on OSP, and OSP's pointing the finger back, like, hold on, wait a second. But then there's
Mhm.
that whole thin blue line gets involved, and everybody's like, okay, we'll just we're not going to talk
Yeah.
about it anymore. You could hear some of that in some of that testimony,
Right.
and hopefully some of those OSP people are waking up, like, oh, we're about ready to get hung out to dry by the feds, and because that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Man,
The
there's just all
local.
kinds of shenanigans going on in the western states out there. Sorry, Rep.
No, you're absolutely right. It's yeah, it's hard, man, because we're having a mass migration. Californians coming here, and not for the right reasons, unfortunately.
No, they're gonna turn Nevada into the same shithole we've been talking about that for years. Come on. A lot of this shit, it's all just coming to fruition. You know? That's the scariest part about it. Everybody's been like, oh, and even me, right? The other day I threw up one, I'm kind of ready for this shit already because it's getting to the point of ridiculous where the New York Times is hiring a straight up racist and they're constantly talking about how white is horrible and we have to get rid of it. I mean, New Hampshire is 94% white. So how do we get these people to move out and how do we get, people of other races to move in? How can we discourage white people to live in New Hampshire? In fucking New Hampshire.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous. Maine's too white. Why do you think they relocated all these people from the Middle East and Africa to fucking Maine? Do you think those people wanted to go to fucking Maine? Or do you think they wanted to go to some place where they were at least a little more used to? Right? But no, we have to diversify the country. So we have to start, doing away with whiteness, I guess. Which, look, I'm not saying that, I'm some white supremacist because I'm fucking not. But to tell me my culture sucks so bad that we have to get rid of it when it built everything that you people are shitting on. And not only that, it built everything that gave you the ability to come up here and shit on us because we allow open and free thought. But you want to shut that shit down because it's a white dude speaking. It's angry. Makes you angry.
Yeah. I think the South Africa situation is a case example of where
God.
we're on the early side of that, where they're well developed into that basically reverse racism. They're basically on the other side of it.
You know it as well as I do. It really is. They're going the way of Zimbabwe, right? And look, right now, Zimbabwe, 15 years later, 20 years later, however fucking many years later it is, right? And what used to be one time Rhodesia, right? Both those places want all these white farmers to come back now. Why? Because they were like, wow, we shouldn't have done what we did, which was kill you and snatch your land because we don't know how to fucking do it the way you people do. We want you to we want to be inclusive now into these countries. They're trying to get these people back who know how to manage this land to turn that shit into the breadbasket. Like the Midwest of Africa is that whole lower southern horn, right? They have this beautiful, the savannas, the Val, right? That shit is gorgeous and beautiful and could feed all the fucking world if the people were given the opportunity who know how to do it were able to do it. Right? And I'm sorry to say it, but it happens to be white Europeans who know how to do that shit. And we industrialize that shit here in America. To a point where I can drive through almost 10 fucking states and not see shit but corn and soybean. And it feeds the fucking world. Forget. No.
Sorry, I was sidetracking here.
That's all right. And you know what? This is one of the reasons why, I don't want to do the dragon on YouTube anymore, because no matter how much goofiness and fun we had, there was a lot of real truth spoken there. And real truth these days is fucking dangerous. You know what I'm saying there? No, seriously. Yeah. I mean, like Rooster Coburn's, like Rooster's, joking about, right? But it's the truth. I mean, you look at some of this shit that's going on in our country and across the pond. They're fucking putting comedians in goddamn jail in Canada and in fucking England. England is, I was never a fan of the British, but at least it was, the birthplace or part of the birthplace of Western civilization. And really, whether I like it or not, the mother country to America, the United States of, and where these people learned to get the ideas that built this country. But at this point, they're almost a lost cause. right? Between the migration and the fact that they're not on board. Well, I believe their fucking people would be on, are 100% on board on bouncing out of the EU, but they're elites who actually run their country, and nobody gives a fuck because it's really what the Queen says goes. All the rest of that shit's just appeasement to make them think they know. They're her subjects, make them think they know what the fuck is going on, right? And we're almost there here in the United States. You know, it's fucking, man, I just keep buying more ammo. And this is one of the reasons why I don't open the dragon like I used to, because really, truth is dangerous speech at this point. It's hate speech, it's hate facts, right? And it's fucking dangerous speak. And whether you're right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't give a shit, right? I'd rather you be right and you check your facts, but you should be able to speak your particular truth, right? However fucking Alex Jones felt about Sandy Hook, he should be able to say it. If you can prove him wrong, fucking prove him wrong. If you can prove people wrong about 9/11, prove them fucking wrong. For some reason, some of these things you can't, and then you destroy evidence behind it. But that's besides the point. That's my truth.
Well, yeah, but the Sandy Hook thing, there's no evidence that it went down the official story, just like the Vegas shooting and every other goddamn thing that happens. We're not being told the truth.
Fuck, even the Vegas cops are going, we don't know what the fuck happened with this guy, right? And then shit dribbles out here and there, how the cops were chicken shit. You know, well, not all of them, but some of them were fucking straight up cowards, just like it turns out a lot of people hiding behind uniforms are. You know, not such of a shocker considering the amount of the population we have these days. But
well, look at the training camp they just busted. You don't see that on the mainstream news. They were training those kids to do school shootings.
Yeah, well, and then you definitely don't see him running the fact that it was a fucking jihadi training camp. Right, 100%. Yeah. This guy, his daddy was a Brooklyn imam, right, who was an unindicted co-conspirator of the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center, and cheered in the streets of Brooklyn in 9/11. So fuck him, right? But he's an American citizen, so thankfully they get to bury him.
But
and when they find
you really think that's what's going to happen?
When they find out, he's not going to get him for being a jihadi. They're going to get him for murdering his disabled kid.
What of that kid? Yeah, the body they found. That's probably only because, from what I understand, the feds knew about this place and knew about him, and were hands off. And it's the local sheriff, the only guy that did anything about it. But you're probably right about that. They'll get him for that, and unless the feds swoop in and snatch him up because they've got him under some witness protection thing.
Yeah, bullshit, man. He was hiding out in the fucking New Mexico desert for, there has to be a bunch of reasons.
Yeah.
He bounced from Brooklyn to Georgia. He bounced from Brooklyn to Georgia to New Mexico. And he snatched his fucking kid. And people knew where the fuck he was, and they knew how they could have found him, but they didn't want to until that sheriff said, we got a jihadi situation here, which if you read the actual press release, it's a lot different than what you see in the mainstream media. And I'll just put it that way. Go do the research yourself. But look, man, it's just, we are fucked. We're constantly getting fucked. And, you know, just live your lives. Try and be as happy as you can. Tony's enjoying his Jeep. You're doing awesome farm, you know, in your homesteading farming with your goats and your sheep and your pigs, and your chickens and your rabbits, and what, you know. Next, I'm waiting for a cow, you know, and Reb's pounding away in his life, you know, enjoying it with a smile and raising his kids. And, you know, for me, I'm living mine, enjoying the shit out of it, helping to raise my grandkids and be a positive male role model. You know, with every little person I get to see. So,
that's it. That's all any of us can do is enjoy today, because we're not promised tomorrow.
Exactly. You know, the Bible said that a long time ago. I'm sure the Quran did too. Fucking Torah did too. And all, you know, Buddha as well. But I'll tell you what, the one thing I do on a consistent basis besides breathe and smoke weed is buy ammo.
Right. Hey, what's going on, Tony?
What up? Getting ready for bed. They get up in the AM.
What about the AM?
I gotta get up early. I work all week, man. I just got off about what time I get off? 8 o'clock, 8-ish. Fucking
All right.
14 hours or something. I don't know. I broke something at work, so I try to like stay longer. I broke something bad.
I'll be breaking stuff, man. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Fucking fuck, man. Yeah, I flooded like the whole fucking, yeah.
All right, that's enough of that. I don't even know anymore.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Right?
What's up, Rebel?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You doing well?
I'm doing all right.
Right on. Are you guys getting a lot of influx of Californians in Vegas?
Like nobody even understands what it is. It's escape from fucking Clark County right now. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I mean, I remember back in the day, but this is. I don't know, man.
Ain't seen nothing yet. Doom, doom, baby. You just ain't. Because remember, once those fires are gone, there's nothing holding that soil. You're going to be seeing mudslides and possibly even the big earthquake. Because that kind of shit can be triggered from shit like that. Okay, earth shifting and shit like weight distribution being lost along the fault line. And if you've seen some of the pictures from out west lately, boy, is it being a little active.
I would say the number one indicator that we see is the violent crime. Like Vegas is sneaky crime. Vegas is a different type of crime. But what's here is like get shot dead right in the middle of the street, battled out with the cops in the middle of the street. That's what's going on out here. You know what I mean? It's different. So there's
hey Tone,
every day.
More's coming because more are going to be abandoning California, man. I'm telling you. So keep an eye out for that great migration back into the middle. Remember how California had to deal with a giant migration heading out west in the 30s? Once Cali fully burns, and then crazier shit start happening. People are gone.
Yeah.
And their middle class is already gone. They've priced them out, right? San Francisco, they're literally shitting in the streets, dude. People are bailing on a failing state.
Was yesterday, Friday, right? Yesterday, I put an offer on a little bit over 2.5 acres in Utah. And if everything goes good, it close on my birthday, September 11th. So,
well, congratulations, man. Hopefully that works, dude. Utah's beautiful.
Yeah, this is done. I mean, I'm not running from Nevada, but I couldn't get out of this county into like the northern county for what I was trying to spend. So,
hey, you do not have to apologize for bettering your situation.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But
and that's coming from a homie, somebody who's born and raised there, dude. That's like when I bailed Cali. I was born and raised there, but there was just no way, man. There's no way I was raising my family there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the part that's still to be worked out too. Like, we'll see how that all transitions, but that'll be the real hard part, honestly. The buying the land and then getting it set up and ready to go and everything. I think that'll be the easiest part, but separating everything else and trying to make everybody realize that. I mean, I'm the only one on board this ship. No one. You know what I mean? Everybody looks at me like, what the fuck? You want to do what?
Well, I've spent some time in Utah, man, and that's a good move if you ask in my opinion. A real good move.
Yeah, it's up into the boonies too. It's up in like past the forest, past the mountains, deep fucking nobody's coming.
Yeah,
And
I got some things going on too, but I'm not going to talk about it here.
yeah, yeah, I don't want to give it away too much. Otherwise, I'll go all fucking give you the fucking address right now.
Man, you did a whole video on when you went out there to drive out there, Tony. You can't.
Yeah, right. Could have got
That was-
GPS coordinates.
Well, actually, that's I looked at like 2 or 3 different sets of towns, and that I almost picked that town, but there was a road running through the 4.5 acres. That's how come I didn't get the 4.5 acres. So
Right.
I ended up going with a different town. So all that was in the video is not even where I'm getting anything.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 acres, man. You know, I think that's sustainable. You know what I mean? Anything over 2 acres, you know, you better have a tractor. You better have all kinds of shit going on.
2 acres is not bad. I mean, if you put it in, I mean, for us, how we live in the city, anyways. I mean, 2.5 acres is humongous. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Well, what I meant by that, as far as animals and as far as agriculture and shit like that, you can that's plenty of land, man.
yeah, I'll be all right. And you know, the thing is, all the land around it is for sale too. So just buy up the rest of the land, or whatever.
That's a plan right there. There you go.
Congrats. That's all I can say. Look, he's got 2,000 subscribers. You're going to get 2.5 acres. You know,
Can I trade subscribers for acres? We got a deal going here?
don't you wish? Right?
I wish I could cash out. If I could sell my subscribers or you know, somehow, you know, cash out on that deal, I would be gone.
Man, you haven't done a video in like 3 years, and you still got more subscribers than me.
I get subscribers every day, and I haven't put a relevant video out in forever.
Right.
But see what it's turned into though? Like it's like you know, well, my channel isn't like political or even guns or anything at all anymore. The real channel. You know what I mean? Like that's really what they did. I mean, it's like everything but guns or talking about freedom. That's what YouTube is. That's their rules. They should just put that. They don't have to have nothing long and drawn out.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it's
one of those
crazy
things.
too. Mule mentioned it earlier that, you know, everything you say on here, now employers are actually looking through your social media to find out, you know, who you are and what your beliefs are and this, that, and the other. So we've always said it in the Dragon anyway, that, you know, everything you say can and will be used against you. And it's true, but it's out in the open, you know.
Well, I just want to know what we said in the Dragon turned out not to be true. For all us tinfoil hat, literally tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, the only thing that isn't going to, you know, some things we know aren't going to be proven in our lifetimes, like 9/11, right? Or Sandy Hook, right? 100%. If that shit is what we think it is, that shit's so buried black, ain't nobody finding that out in our lifetimes. You know, maybe my grandson will hear it, you know, see a news report when I'm long dead, proving me right. You know, but
well, you can go all the way back to the Kennedy assassination. I mean, you know,
yeah.
What is it? 67% of the population believes that it didn't go down the way the official story is. You know.
Well, because, you know, common sense tells you, you know, look, bullets don't do what you said it did, even in freak show moment. You know?
Well, I
Right.
think that goes back too. It's just like with 9/11, all these things. It gets generational because I remember my grandparents, like, they passed on that. They weren't there, like, that didn't go down the way they said it went down. It wasn't Harvey Oswald. It was something else going on. Now, they didn't say, was it the Knoll guy or whatever? They was like, I don't know, but what we were told is not what happened. I remember that. I remember that growing up, like, yeah, don't believe everything you see on the TV type thing.
Well,
You know,
but
that's where we get our healthy criticism, you know.
And that used to be a natural, inherent kind of American attitude. Oh, we want to be your friend. We want to like you, but you know, if you're from the government, we naturally don't trust you, right? There's something, you know, you may do something good, but we're going to watch you if to make sure, and if you don't, we're going to call you on it. That used to be the American way. The whole part of the First Amendment that these people don't understand, oh my God, it's just ridiculous at this point.
Right.
We got to live in this world, right? We have to live in this world. So,
hey, to me, I'm more, I think if you want to call it paranoid, I guess is what everybody would call it. I'm more paranoid under Trump than I was under Obama.
No, I'm not.
I'm serious, dude.
It's a good reason to be.
I'm way more into putting all my thought and plan into actual action as far as getting up out of here, moving like all this shit. I want it done. I want it, you know what I mean? Because I think right over the hill, which ain't too far, something's either gonna happen or we're gonna drop right off the fucking hill and people be out in the street. And it is
what's going to happen is it's going to be brought on by the left, but it's going to affect all of us.
And no,
right?
I think
yes, the hammer.
I think Tony's right.
I do too. And I'm trying to tell him that I think it's going to, the violence in the streets and shit that you see happening on the coastal cities is going to continue. The violence in Chicago is going to continue. And it's going to give them, just like 9/11 gave them the Patriot Act, which allowed all this fucking spying on us, right? Even though on 9/10, right, they couldn't get that fucking thing passed through Congress because even the Congress understood it was fucking illegal to pass this thing. And they did it anyway. And then they renewed it, right? They're going to get even more draconian. They're using the goddamn corporations, right, to find out who to target in bed with the government. So yeah, he's right. Trump's way more dangerous. Why? Because, a lot of people like us are, applauding the things that we see him doing, especially when it makes liberals cry.
I mean, I don't even think it's going to come from Trump. I think it's going to come from either the removal of Trump, or I think we're going to drop off the economic cliff, like way worse than what we saw in 2008. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, if he doesn't actually end the Fed or stop all these, entrenched bureaucracies that have been they're leeches on the republic, on us as a whole, and they just suck us dry. And if he doesn't get rid of any of these motherfuckers, then their design will keep on going on, which is to destroy this country one way or another. Mass shooting, this, that, the other. Pick your poison. You know what I mean? And that can still go on with Trump not putting nobody in fucking jail.
I agree. I think the corruption under Obama was one thing, but now seeing the level of corruption where you have the alphabet agencies just blatantly saying, yeah, we can do what we want, and smug and just, I don't recall. Or
to answer to anybody. No, directly lie to the Congress. The shadow government's been exposed. The deep state's been exposed. And guess what? They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Now they're out in the open and they're happy to be, right?
Yeah.
Now they have the Washington fucking Post putting up shit and the New York Times putting up shit, calling the president a fucking traitor, calling the fucking people in the goddamn country who voted for him stupid and manipulated by Russia. I mean, they just don't give a fuck anymore because they just don't. They know that they have a part of the masses that will follow their propaganda. And they always have.
And where do we go from here? Either it's the same shit, which is chaos.
I go to Missouri. You go to Utah. Rebel goes to Colorado. HD's got his eggs in a basket, so he's toughing it out there, right? And the rest of us are going to try and get through it more towards the middle than the coast, because we know the coasts are where it's going to light off, right? And for me, I want to get the fuck away from Chicago. Further away, the better. Out of Illinois. Even though my county is voting to become a sanctuary county.
Nice.
Here in Illinois. and I got so yeah.
You gotta go out where the weather's warmer, anyways, man. You gotta come out and enjoy some of this Southwest hospitality.
Right, buddy. I like water. I like rain. I like green grass that isn't imported.
Hey, you got all that in Utah. You'd be tripping the fuck out how the weather is in Utah.
Oh, Utah's beautiful, especially northern Utah. I understand. I've been in every state in this country and through them multiple times when I was driving truck. So I know where the beauty is. I understand that. I do just like cleaner, warmer weather, right? So I'm going to head a little south, right? A little more along the Mississippi, not high enough to catch, in Tornado Alley, yes, but you got, every place has got something wrong, and I'm okay with tornadoes.
You're okay with tornadoes?
Yeah. I've lived through fucking hurricanes, fucking earthquakes, tornadoes, fucking floods, all that shit. And you know what? Out of them all, tornadoes, they'll kill you too, but, more than likely they'll just rip your house apart. And take all your shit and deposit it 6 counties over, spread over fucking, 40 acres.
It sounds like we got a fucking tornado going on right now, dude. We got some crazy fucking weather going on right now.
Well, your shit's gonna change just from all that fire shit, right? You never know what all that smoke's gonna do.
There's no way you couldn't start a fire if you tried in Vegas right now. It's been raining all summer.
Man, I feel sorry for your tunnel friends, buddy. I hope well, no. I'm sure they're washed out to the Lake Mead by now if they've been in there. But hey, look at that. If it's raining that much in Vegas, at least Mead's filling up.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while.
Yeah, I doubt if it's filling up anyway. They're just letting it run through. A lot of respects.
Yeah. Well, the fires are causing the rain, so.
Yeah, so that means what? California's not getting no monsoon because this summer I've been in Colorado, I've been in Utah, I've been in Arizona, I've been in Nevada, and all 4 of us had the fucking monsoon. Bad.
Well, the monsoon, Southern California doesn't work off the monsoon. I think maybe San Bernardino County does, but like San Diego, LA, they don't. They work off coastal.
Man, they ain't getting none of this monsoon, but all of us others are fucking getting it. It's crazy. I went up to Colorado. What was it, last month? I was expecting I'm gonna go up there. It's gonna be a little bit warmer, or it's gonna be a little bit warm, but it's gonna be nice. And it was so muggy and nasty. It was like Mississippi up there. It's crazy.
Well, hey, speaking of these fires for a second, though, I want, again, I said, I didn't know what the hell's going on with Stinger. I don't know what the hell's going on with Glenn either. So if you want to keep up Wild Iron Horseman up, I know he's dealing with a lot of fires up there. Yeah. And I did talk to him for a minute, and I know him and his family are safe, but they're super worried about a lot of property. So
yeah, they were worried about a lot of property. I hit him up too, and he was like, it's on the verge, but nothing on their end has been damaged yet, but they're like on the edge.
Yeah. And it
wildfires, are these arson?
Which ones?
I mean, they said all of California is on fucking fire. I mean, it sounds.
Yeah. Well, they had that one, the one up by Glen, the Redding one, is caused by that fifth wheel with a flat tire, and then you had the one down there by Elsinore, I think is proven arson. And then the Mendocino one, I don't think they know yet. And the one down here, there's one down here that caused really the real bad smoke up by Monitor Pass, Sonora Pass in between last week that I don't think they know yet either. May have been caused by campers, I believe.
That Pyramid Lake was arson, right?
Yeah, and then there's the Pyramid Lake one on our side in Nevada that was proven arson. Or they've arrested a guy for arson, so they're still proven guilty, right? We don't want to throw accusations out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Cause...
I do. If it's arson, call it arson. If they suspect it's arson, say it. Just...
Yeah,
right.
That's one of the worst. Right?
dead, right? So I can accuse you of anything, but they're not facts. And part of the problem is, people just run on accusations without facts anymore. So, but
Well,
you,
be
in
the first
fact,
time, right?
fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? And with all the rain you had over the winter, I mean, I wasn't expecting to hear much of a fire season out of at least your side of the Sierra Nevadas.
No shit. They're smoking me out like a rat, dude.
Yeah, but they ain't treating the state like the state was treated before, and even in California, there's like what, zero grazing. There's fucking all these different ways, like when
Logging.
Mount Charleston over here a bunch of summers ago burned down, and it wasn't that long after there was a lot of goats that grazed up there, and I guess BLM or whoever's in control of that land took away those permits or whatever. No more goats grazing, and that shit burned down like a couple years later.
That's funny. Every year, Carson City, on the different outskirt areas, they have a sheep herder that goes through all the different areas, and the sheep graze the land wherever the county wants it, just to prevent fires. That's the sole purpose. So they actually work with somebody.
And talk about the old-fashioned win-win that, all these places, while they didn't understand as much, they understood that much, that grazing a lot of this land and letting it live healthily was good for the land, right?
Well, forget about riding an ATV or any kind of off-road vehicles or anything in California ever again. They'll pass so much legislation you won't be able to, friggin' light off anything there. They won't let you burn wood when you camp. It'll be so absurd. You watch.
The chat we did the other night before I got all fucked up. I was trying to say that even here, dude, they've ruined Las Vegas. Las Vegas isn't known for what Las Vegas was known for. It's not like cheap buffets, free parking, comp drinks. Dude, they're doing away with comp drinks. A lot of places aren't even comping drinks anymore. They're everywhere is you pay for parking now. All these different.
So who don't gamble anymore?
But
who's coming to gamble?
Well, the room taxes. I mean, it's thing after thing after thing, and so Vegas is just turning into fucking East LA. It's a shithole.
Well, after that shooting, man, I would imagine tourism is down drastically.
I wouldn't want to come here. Who the fuck would want to come here? Cops don't fucking know nothing. Want to fucking pretend like they don't know nothing. You got the company, you got MGM fucking counter-suing the fucking victims of the massacre. I mean, who the fuck would come here? Oh, I got a bargain.
Bargain.
Retards, man. But Nevada is next. I mean, we're in the way. There's no way, to me, there's no way that we stand what's coming, because Vegas is flooded. Clark County is toast. Even when you go to the outer skirts, you go to Mount Charleston, you go to Red Rock, or even go to these other little towns outside of Vegas, and you go to these places that used to be nice, and they're full of shit, dude. They're full of trash or full of diapers. You see it's all Mexican products, like Mexican food, wrappers and candy and fucking baby diapers. It's the third world moving in and going to more of the.
I'm having deja vu, man. Sorry, but this is like we haven't missed a beat.
It's crazy.
Ain't nothing changed, man.
Why would I need to move? What the hell happened?
You're here. We hear you. I hear you.
Okay, I'm not seeing my little green line anymore. Anyway, so why would I move to Nevada or out west again when you're telling me it's turning into the fucking mix of the Middle East and goddamn,
Nevada. Campaigning for nobody to move to Nevada.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Uh-oh.
No, he's still in under one thing, so maybe it was just his phone. Yeah, it was just his phone.
He wanted to be next to me, I guess.
Yeah,
You can't afford this shit out here anyway.
Because
Dude,
everybody in California is bringing all their cash in.
Dude, the middle of the country is saving it, right? And
Yes.
you know what? Okay, it's just that if there ends up being in America after all is said and done in the next 50 years, at least I know, or I'm pretty sure, the middle of it will be still part of America.
Bro, check this out. My fucking rent has raised every time I've signed a new lease. And so I started out paying like probably like 11 and some change for a 3-bedroom, a really nice place, you know, on the outskirts of town. And that shit has jumped like probably $200 in 2 years. I think I'm almost at $1,400. So I think I'm almost at like almost $300 in fucking, it just keeps going up and up and up. And it doesn't matter where you look, even the shitholes going up and up. But if you want to live somewhere decent, I swear to you, I've lived all over this country, bro. And this is fucking New York. This is fucking LA. This is fucking all those shitholes. That's what it costs to live here. I'm paying fucking almost $1,400 for a 3-bedroom apartment, probably like 12 or 1,200 square feet.
And that would be acceptable if your job was paying you in accordance to your living expenses. That would be acceptable, but it's not. There's no way.
Well, I'm getting paid all right, but I think it's ridiculous that one whole pie, you know, imagine if you pay just one whole fucking check going to, I don't know, dude. That's,
well, yeah. If you do a cost analysis and your quality of life also, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
so your other option is to ditch the city, go to the boonies, but then how do you provide that same level of income that you're able to provide? Because if I move this income over to living in the boonies, I'd be fucking rich, bro. I'd be rich. I'd be fucking killing it.
Well, let me tell you, Tony, here's how you do it. It's called sacrifice. You move the family to the boonies, you go there on the weekends, right? That's the only way for it to sustain until you retire or you start your own business, but then that's got its own risk. You know? Because out in the boonies, there's no, you know, they don't pay that well out in the boonies unless you have a high dollar skill, right? So if you were out doing, say you're out doing these windmills, right? That's a high dollar skill. But again, you're traveling all the time. Or a trucker. You can make good money as a trucker right now. But the good money is in the over the road. So while you can make money, you're never home. Well, you know, it's always going to be a trade-off between money and family.
The property tax on this land is like $36.
No, yeah, but you know what? I bet top dollar around there is like $13. You know?
Well, yeah.
So it's
but I'm just saying, as far as taxes on land each year, as long as I pay that $36 each year, that land's mine. So it's important to get that $36 each year.
Right. So that land could, you know, you could take your time and you can stay, you know, find better accommodations, cheaper maybe where you're at. And still keep that land while you get your nest egg to be able to start working shit up there.
Bro,
you know?
And HD's got me stoked. I'm watching his videos. I'm thinking I'm about to fucking go cold turkey, bro. I'm about to just fucking, you know, sink or swim.
Don't go cold turkey, man.
Dude, it's a lot of hard work, man. If you don't have a backup plan, you know, it's a lot of hard work trying to live off grid and provide food for your family and all that shit, especially when you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I'm just fucking around. I got a 2-year plan, but if I got to kick that into something quicker, then I'm antsy, bro, but I want to make sure.
Look what we were just talking about Stinger earlier. Like he was doing, it was like looking good, and then all of a sudden he's had to drop it. You know, whatever reasons are, we don't know, but. I mean, that's, you know, he has a backup plan. Obviously, he was able to fall back on it.
Well, yeah,
go away quick, you know.
Partly your fault for making it look so easy, but then when you get out there and boots on the ground, it ain't as easy as you make it look, man.
That's who makes it look.
You.
I make it look easy? Are you kidding me?
Well, look, I'd say this. All right, I got like two things going for me. I can grow some shit, and I grew some shit for a lot of years, and I was really good at it. So I give myself that. I'm trying to build my resume here, and then on top of it, bro, I've been laying asphalt, doing roofing, and fucking now I work in a factory, working 12 hours, probably harder than I ever did in my life. And so the ethic and the work, the actual fucking boots on the ground, bro, I'm ready. I feel like I'm fucking 20 something. I don't want to go out to the land when I'm fucking old and trying to make something of it. I feel good right now. I feel more like health wise, I feel healthier than I felt in fucking a decade at least.
Well, you just hit it on the head right there, brother. You got a 2-year plan, and you're young and healthy. And if you're ever going to make a go of it, it's exactly the time to do it.
What up, Saints? I got to. Saints gave me that idea too.
Evening, gentlemen.
We talked about this like yesterday. So.
You flooded out still, Saints, or what?
No, we've had about 2 days without rain, but it's supposed to rain again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been lots of rain. It's like it'll dry out here, but we were working on an email plan during the morning chats to email rain back and forth, but it doesn't seem to be working out for us.
I know we've had intermittent rain, but actually it's been pretty nice summer here. It started out pretty hot, and then it got, all that smoke out west cooled the temperatures down enough to make it just nice.
Well, there's some beautiful gardens here because they're getting watered every day for about an hour, just wide open. So.
Oh, I'll tell you, we get enough intermittent rain about twice a week to where the corn looks beautiful, the fucking soybeans look gorgeous, and everybody's garden, they're all bitching about having to take care of them so much because they're just growing awesomely.
All right.
Even when people are trying to leave fallow, they're like, "Hey, man, I got to go out and grab some of those tomatoes because they just look so damn good out there. I didn't plant that. That was last year's. Didn't even bother this year. Going out and just get them." And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to live out west. Right? Living in the breadbasket of America. It's awesome.
Right. Sure. Uh-oh, dead air. No dead air.
I was just going to say, but usually you can't shut us up, and now we got.
Well,
I can hear my tinnitus kicking in. What's going on here?
It does feel like, Dragon, there's so many subjects we can go hitting hard at, but I mean,
yeah, dude, I should have
like
been
I said,
about 30 minutes ago.
Well, I'd like to know from each of you, if money wasn't an issue, where each of you would like to retire in the United States. What state would be your ideal place to retire?
I'll go first.
Ideal place.
I'll go first, and it'll be easy. Wyoming, because there's not that many people, and most of them are white.
Oh,
interesting.
Serious. That's not even. I mean, it's halfway funny, but dead serious too.
That's Tony's 3/4 white speaking for him right there.
That would be awesome. Wyoming's beautiful.
I think if money's no object, you really got to go with where your support network is. If money was no object or no concern, I would probably go back to North Carolina. I mean, the mountains have a lot to offer. If money was no object, it would be very easy with support structures and everything there to kick off there.
Well, now,
money's an issue.
While I don't have a support structure that HD has in the Carolinas, that would probably be my pick. If you want to, as a temperature range, growing season range, and food availability range in nature, Georgia, North and South Carolina are probably the closest thing to paradise in the United States.
Yeah, South Carolina was pretty. Yeah, that's a really nice place.
And that's why the Scotch Irish took it over for the whole first part before we weren't actually a country yet, when we were just a colony, right? They kind of absorbed it because they were like, holy shit, we can get the hell out of Scotland and Ireland, and this is fucking gorgeous and everything great. You don't have to just eat potatoes and fuck this, fuck the English. Let's go, build a new land for themselves.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was it you, Mule, or Reb that actually posted that? I don't know if it was a video about not being the lone wolf. Being a lone wolf is going to be a failing proposition.
Well,
wasn't it?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay.
And neither will I on that note. But one thing to say is, look, are you alone now? If you're alone now, you might be a lone wolf. I'm not alone now. I have a house full of people. I have a family. I have a support system like you were just talking about back home, right? I have all this shit there that makes me, by virtue of my tribe, not a lone wolf. And most lone wolves were kicked out of the fucking pack for a good goddamn reason.
What if it's like this? I got this Indian right here.
Hey, then you're part of a pack, right? You're part of a tribe, your tribe, right? You're building your tribe. You ain't no lone wolf. You just the alpha wolf, baby. You're building your tribe, right?
Except for she's Navajo, so trying to rein her in is like freaking. It's like trying
to. Whatever. You know what? You're already scalped. What the fuck are you bitching about, Tony?
There, come on. I'm just talking because she walked up. I'm giving her a hard time. Come on.
Well, so was I. I told.
He's gonna get shanked in the middle of the night doing that.
Right. Well, he's already scalped, right? He does it to himself. So.
Cameras.
But you know what I'm saying? So lone wolf is bullshit, right? So you get it, right? You can't be a lone wolf, Tony. You have a family, you have a wife, you're part of your pack, right? And think about most lone wolves are kicked out of the fucking pack.
Coming from a guy who rode his motorcycle cross country, sleeping under freaking trees, chained to his bike.
Yeah, I know what a lone is. This fucking dude who tried that lone shit built himself a fucking pack, a tribe. That's the guy who tried it alone and figured that shit out early. And the shit, man,
like Lewis and Clark. Like,
look, in any shit hit the fan situation, if you ain't got somebody watching your back, when the fuck are you gonna sleep?
Beavis and Butthead.
There it is.
Yeah, somebody asked that question on a video last couple weeks, asking about whether it'll be the lone wolf or the who was that asked that? Anyway, my biggest thing was you can get by with lone wolf for a short period of time, and it is beneficial for immediate maneuver and security. It's like speed is security, and you're able to to hide out a little bit easier. But once that's over, in any other situation where you need to settle down or start, making anything of anything or making any sustainment, you're done. You can't do enough by yourself.
It's hard to stimulate.
What does it? I mean, it obviously depends on what the catastrophe or what the breakdown is, though. Also, right? I mean, that would.
No, it doesn't matter in the end. Once you start trying to settle down and make something, being by yourself is going to be a non-starting. It's going to be a zero-sum game. It's going to go quickly too.
Well, it's only at the start that lone wolf works because it's to get your ass home, especially in our culture and our society today where your job usually is a good 40 minutes to an hour, sometimes 3 by car, right? Well, picture that in a car, right? So depending upon where you are in the country, that could be 3 hours could be like 200 and change miles, right? How if you're walking that shit because God knows what the bad situation is, right? You know, you're lone wolfing it for a minute to get back to your pack or your tribe.
Yeah, that's
But then,
10 days minimum.
you know,
Well, it goes to mindset too, and we're social creatures. And when the shit really hits the fan, the last thing you want to do is be alone and dealing with all of that. Sometimes all you need is just, you know, somebody else that can back you that you're not going totally insane, or confirm that you are actually.
well, see, luckily enough, I've had that particular skill set implanted into me. So if I getting home, doing it lone wolf style, that'll work. But that's all I'm doing is heading for the social, heading for this stuff that I've built, which isn't always a house. It's more of the tribe.
So where's
Right.
where's Reb and where's Saints going?
Well, that's why I was asking you guys, because I don't have a clue. I've been all over too, but you know, cost is an issue. All these things are an
No
issue.
cost an issue. Remember, no
Well,
cost.
yeah. If no cost was an issue, I like Utah. I'm not going to lie. I like the Carolinas as well. I don't know about Colorado, but yeah, it's hard to pin down for me. I really haven't. I haven't zoned
Colorado
in.
has changed big time, bro. I was just there, because all my family lives out there, and Colorado. From when I was younger and went out there, Colorado is it's the old California influx. It's not the new. I mean, maybe there is. I don't know, but from what I saw, is like the old California influx is like grown up and taken over everything, and it's very reminiscent of Northern California, like on the fuck is it, the historic one or whatever, when you drive that whole thing up and it's like hippie as fuck all the way up. I feel like that's how Colorado is. It's not that rugged like Nevada feel for sure. It's totally different now.
So it's instead of rednecks, it's hippies.
Yeah, dude. My family, some of my cousins, they live way deep out in fucking the middle of nowhere, and it's a small ass town, and it had a little downtown, but there's a Walmart over on the highway, so it kind of put everything out of business, and so everything that moved in is all, I guess, like pot shops and dispensaries in this whole downtown, but it's like it's them fucking they're communists. I mean, I think they're more communists than anything. I mean, they love to set up and do that, free capital market system, and then fucking move in and take up causes like don't mine this and don't deforest that, and that's how Colorado is now.
Wow.
It's just a lot of people from California, you can tell.
Common Core and the schools and the whole rigmarole, huh?
I don't know what's going on with that, but my cousins are they're all left leaning. Like, I wouldn't say all of them. The ones that fish and hunt and have good jobs, so they're rugged individuals, right leaning or conservative.
Well, Colorado is kind of like stuck like Nevada, where basically the eastern part of Colorado runs the rest of the state, right? The big cities, Denver and Colorado Springs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like every state. See, that's every state, right? So here in Illinois, we got Chicago that thinks it runs things and for the most part does. Same with Springfield. Those two liberal fucking cities, the only real ones in our state, run the fucking state. Because they voted Democrat because they were able to push them, unions and all that bullshit and all these giveaways for so long that my state's so fucking broke that it's California type broke. You know what I mean?
The thing
Illinois
is
is?
all,
Yeah,
all,
right.
all these so-called disenfranchised people, or, you know, regardless if they're lazy or fucking actually disenfranchised or however they feel, you know, they're all uniting basically under some, like, a communism umbrella, you know what I mean? Whether it's, you know, one form of another of communism, and that's the resist and the solution to, I guess, you know, the police state. Their solution to the police state is more government. You know.
No, Tone, their solution to the police state is they want to be the cops. So they have to destroy the cops that are there now to be able to take their fucking place. Right? So they have to destroy the system that's here now, that it's a republic, and they have to turn it into, like you said, a communistic, democratic, you know, democratic socialism, right? Oh, it's democratic. It says it right in their fucking name, right? And they want to destroy the system, right? We want the system to be destroyed in a different way. We want it to be back to the healthy system it once maybe was. I don't know what it was like in fucking 1879, 1897. I don't fucking know. I didn't live then. I'm living now.
I feel that, you know, like it says though, there's got to be a form of government representative of the people, and a lot of people fucking are out of their minds. So
putting 400 million people in some place that's calling itself a representative government, no. You know, it's really never going to be it again, because it's too fucking big at this point. And HD's been preaching that since the day I fucking started talking to him, right? And he's 100% right. It's gotten too big.
If we broke up, though, we wouldn't even break up state by state. We'd be breaking up by half.
Section.
Oh, yeah.
No, by section.
Be insane.
The West Coast would go one way, the middle of the country would go another, and the East Coast would go a whole other way, right? And Texas would do its own fucking thing, right?
And the South will rise again.
There he is.
Well timed, Saints. Well timed.
They'll probably be part of the Republic of Texas, right? Or at least allies of it. But and you know, look, balkanization of the United States should not come as a surprise to anybody. This is supposed to be an experiment, a representative republic, and it's gotten to the point where it's failed. Let's just be fucking honest about it. And no one figurehead's gonna fucking change that. Throwing Trump up there to cause the fucking Joker type chaos, I prayed that he would, which he has made me happy every fucking day, because I still see him as the fucking Joker, okay? And he's still causing chaos in our system. And why? Because it needs to break. It needs to break. And I will not mind if the Midwestern, you know, United States or the whatever, right, is allies with the, you know, Southern United States, and we have free trade and we have open borders with each other. But guess what? I want to close off some people who don't run our way anymore. You know, who want to be a communist. You know, they want to be the People's Republic of fucking, you know, California, of the California Republic, right? And, you know, it'll be fucking, Nevada will be fucked, right? Oregon and Washington will be fucked, because most of those people all be from fucking California, so they'll join right in.
Yeah, but they don't come in. I mean, there's some that are clicking their ways towards socialism, but a lot of them are running from the mistakes that they don't, I guess, maybe feel like they were, you know, a part of. You know, they either voted or didn't vote, whatever their problem is, but you know, they run to another place.
They fucked it up, and they don't want to pay the piper for it.
Well, you know, I mean,
the people who live in nice towns in Colorado, Tony, they're all from fucking San Francisco and the Napa Valley, right? And they're all showing up there. Why? Because they've turned paradise into a shithole, trying to appease everybody and give everybody everything. And that's what they're going to turn California, Nevada, and fucking Oregon and Washington into.
Hey, they're going to fucking set off some black plague type shit or something in the fucking Bay Area. Some fucking old fucking some fucking shit's gonna get mixed up and all that shit, and that fucking gonna wipe out that whole area, dude. That's disgusting, bro. I watched the videos. It's wow. I was there in 08 and I was down by the pier and everything in Frisco and all that. And I don't remember. I mean, maybe I wasn't paying attention. I saw the normal graffiti and shit, but yeah, that shit's out of control up there. People are living in that.
Hey, you mind if I answer something from the chat room, HD?
Why wouldn't you? Sure, please go ahead.
No. It's not my. I keep talking. I act like it's fucking mine because that's just my personality. But it really isn't. But I have to agree with Westwind's survival out there. He said, because I think the experiment is broken and we need to do better, like Iron Witch had said. But I think the reason why it's broken, I think Westwind's survival is right. We, the people, failed it.
Yeah, I've said that a long time. You always have the ultra libertarians saying the Constitution failed. No, the people failed the Constitution.
No, we failed it. We failed it. I failed it in the youth. We've all failed it somewhere along the line. We failed the Constitution by not holding the people who are supposed to represent us to it, right? And not allowing them to change it on whim or allow fucking judges to make constitutional fucking decisions. Right? We've abdicated our goddamn responsibility for so long. It's destroyed this country. Now, it's not just us. It's a lot of our forefathers before us, all the way up to, and including every gun law put down and the creation of the Federal Reserve. But that doesn't change where we are now, right? The fact that we fucked it up and we failed it, it still says the experiment failed. And it failed because of human error.
We're far too civilized. Bottom line,
Well,
we've been bred out.
Yeah,
we're far too civilized. Our barbarian ways are gone.
It's been bred out, but it's also been we've been. What's a good way to describe it?
Been fucking dope.
Our education has been such that we convinced ourselves that we were too good for it, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, we've convinced ourselves that we were better than the system that was provided for us.
All the water we drink has fucking chemicals in it that fucking make.
But hold on a second. Look, that happens to every civilization, right? They start getting too big. They get too big for their britches. They overreach. And then they start to fail, and a lot of them have failed in exactly the same way we're failing, right? Including the fucking Vikings. They got civilized, and then they started becoming integrated with the populations, and then they started becoming the populations. Normandy's called Normandy because the Norse took it over, and then it became so fucking French that they don't even acknowledge their Norse roots, right? They think they're ultimately French, right? So this happens to every great civilization. Italy broke up into city-states for 1,000 years because Rome couldn't keep its shit together. The Ottoman Empire fell apart. The Eastern Roman Empire fell apart. Every empire falls apart, including ours is going to fall apart. And it's all happening the same way, from within. Every single one of those was overreach and within. Look, we're allowing people into our country who will go onto a giant symbol of our freedom and freedom for all, right? And stand up there and shit on America and get out, go to court, get let out, and just stand there and shit on America the whole time. And we're cool with it, and people are praising it, right? Yeah, America's such shit, we need to destroy it. And that's what they're doing.
You got a whole fucking spy government, secret government that's always been there, exposing itself and fucking dancing around, fucking parading their fucking treason, and no one cares. There's no arrests. There ain't nothing happening. They can fucking do whatever the fuck they want. They kill a whole bunch of people in Las Vegas, and people are like, well, they have no answer. I guess I'm okay with that.
Well, because the propaganda machine is constantly going after the person that the people elected, right? And they're allowing, you know, when you have guys in the Washington Post telling the deep state to take down a sitting president, and people are fucking cheering, and 3 networks out of 5 are cheering for it, right? And holding conversations on how that's a good idea, you know, what do you expect? For some reason, these people think they're going to win in the end, and as what usually happens, you know, they do. They didn't lop off every fucking noble's head in goddamn France. You know, there ain't enough rope in America to hang every traitor son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You know, like I said, look, I'm trying to pursue my, like I've said for a while now, I try and pursue my happiness, but part of my happiness is I buy ammo all the fucking time, and I shoot up quite a bit, and then I buy more. Why? Because someday I may need to use it on shit other than paper.
Hey, so can we get a little bit more serious maybe about a fucking Green Dragon get together? Not a chat, but a get together. We had to together and do one of them little fucking pigs in the ground. We put a pig in the ground and feed it.
No. We're still too far. We're still too far separated. You know, there's just too much going on.
No, bro, come on. You ain't on the TSA ban list, which means you can still come to us.
Unless, you know, look, I'll come to you the way I've been coming to you for the past, you know, fucking 8 years online, right? But as far as roaming around right now, you know, unless I end up taking this over the road job I'm looking at, no. Maybe next year. My daughter's almost out of goddamn high school. She's entering into her senior year now, and then there's not going to be anything holding me here. Because as for my children and their children, I will enjoy being a grandparent that shows up twice a year.
Hey, we're going to do a pig in the ground and a shoot. So,
well, you guys just keep me in mind while you're enjoying those ribs.
We'll put you on the iPad next to the fire. A face.
There you go. Remember, you better bring a lot of vegetables for Reb, because he don't eat meat no more. He's gone vegetarian or vegan.
No, man. Listen, I only eat what I kill, right, or process. That's all. Simple as that. Okay, you know, if people held to that standard and said, "Listen, I'm not going to eat animals unless I actually kill them and process them, or at least process them for that matter," I think we'd have a better society, because most people couldn't stomach it, right?
I'm hip. Actually,
I'm gonna put this fucking pig in the ground, and if I gotta, I'll just have a fucking. I don't have internet out there, so it just has to be still pictures of your guys' face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna put a pig in the ground.
That's what we did. That's what we did for my wedding, at the full blown Filipino style barbecue.
That's some good shit right there.
Yeah, we're gonna bring up
Doctor's shocked that I kept the whole foot and everything's looking good, and I'm just moving around like I did. Hips a little different. Hips fucking up a little bit just because of learning to walk a little different, -2, but getting through it.
Wow.
Hey, I'd like to cook one of them little fun size pigs like HD's got. I bet that'd be good.
Oh, that's veal.
Oh yeah. Baby pig. Ooh, imagine that bacon. Oh, imagine that pork belly. Oh.
Yeah, that's only one serving.
That's my serving. That's fine.
It's like a personal pan pizza.
All right. Personal. Hey, you know what? I mean, I got a neighbor. I know somebody who's got a pot-belly pig. I'm like, wonder how the Vietnamese pot-belly pig bacon tastes.
So I should send you some, Mule?
Yes.
Sounds like you're ready.
Yes. If you've got it in the smoker or in the smokehouse, yes, 100%. I don't care how you cure the fucker. Just send it out my way.
Right. Yeah, salt it, smoke it, whatever.
However you bring it, it'll end up on my plate and me mouth-wateringly over it.
Right
I'm
on.
never bacon. I don't care who made it. And if we go true shit hit the fan, I'm sure I'll be eating people bacon, fat guy bacon.
Say what?
I'm sure if shit really hit the fan, the road type thing, I'd be eating fat guy bacon.
Come on now. You don't think you'd actually get down that road, do you?
No, I wouldn't. But it made a good joke.
That's
Hey,
funny.
if you watch my one video, bro, just on the eastern side of Utah, you start coming in off the highway, and there's just like all types of sheep, dude. Sheep for as far as I can see.
Yeah, you better take. I'm gonna leave it. Is your old lady around, Tony?
Yeah, she's right here.
Oh, because I was gonna make a sheep joke. How it could be to be around with Tony around sheep.
Be nervous.
Yeah, you know how the mixed sailors are, right? You know.
Oh, that didn't take long.
Yeah, it's you talk about that mule though. I don't know if you follow. There's a channel, Wes S. He's brought up the long pork situation several times about the issues behind that. This in discussion formats. He's pretty much against it, but he's been talking about it as history has shown that people go down that road far more often than we're told, and far more often than history. And I mean, it's in the histories, but people don't read their history, so we don't know about it. You know, it's not just the Donner Party. There are many cases.
Oh no, all through history, right? You get 4 people stuck on a lifeboat in World War II, and you know what? 2 of them are probably coming home, and the other 2 are being blamed on tiger sharks, right?
Hey, what happens to you if you eat human?
You go crazy.
Well, bad things can happen if you eat certain parts of them, yes, but otherwise nothing. They're just another fucking animal. Okay.
There's diseases you get from eating human that you don't get from eating anything else, and that's one way they catch people for cannibalism is they check them and see if they've got that enzyme in them or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's prion disease, and it's from mixing brain matter into the meat. Saints.
So just don't eat the brain.
Yeah, pretty much. That whole zombie thing is you don't want to eat the brain because it'll turn you into a fucking zombie, right? Which is kind of true.
That makes sense.
But other parts, no. Look, people have lived long lives after eating a whole human being on lifeboats. You know,
talk about too is like eating the liver is a bad idea because of all the it filters out all the bad stuff. So whatever that person has eaten, or any animal really, the liver can be bad really quick.
Yeah, I would try to stay away from the the offal, anything like that. Yeah, any organ meat, shit like that from a human. Oh fuck yeah, that's getting offline. But if you're starving to death and you need the protein and you're stuck out in, say, the Pacific black hole, that fucking 4,000 miles in every direction from anywhere, and you're eating a person, right? Well, you might make it to South America, or Australia, or Africa. Sometimes you can be fucked.
Tastes like chicken. Tastes just like chicken.
Hey, Bugs Bunny had it right. Remember those old Bugs Bunny cartoons, stranded on an island? The guys that look like Abbott and Costello, looking at each other up and down like one's a chicken wing, one's a pork roast.
Right. There was lots. The one guy goes native.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's happened all over the world. It still happens in the deepest, darkest jungles of fucking South Africa. It still happens in Africa. Right? In South America and fucking, it still happens in plenty of places in the world. I'm sure the jungles of fucking Southeast Asia, there's tribes that nobody know about that they fucking eat in one form or another people, right? Whether it's for, for veneration of their ancestors, right? To honor that dead person, or it's, to get their strength because they were another warrior that they killed. Fuck. It's all through our history as human beings. You know, it's just the reason why it's so blacklisted now is because of Western civilization, which they're trying to destroy. Uh-oh, got a coyote out there or something? Right? He's bringing the phone around, checking shit out. It's like, oh, makes me wonder if he's got something on the chicken coop.
No, I
Yeah.
just had to grab something real quick.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, see some of them nighttime sniper skills working. That'd be awesome. See that, and I should think that for a response video, but I'm probably not going to do one. So,
Oh, yeah, that might incriminate myself. I wouldn't want to do that. Incriminate yourself on YouTube is always a bad idea.
that's why I don't do it, because I have a tendency to do that. Look at the kind of foot and mouth disease I'm getting here talking to you, and I'm not even that high. You know, it's just been so long since I got a chance to chat with you guys about this kind of stuff, and so much shit's happened since the last time we talked. And it just, you know, it went from, wow, maybe we have a chance, to, holy shit, the deep state exposes itself and does not care and is going to take down a sitting president, and people are going to fucking cheer the fact that we are going to change from the freest country to the world to a police state in one form or another within the next election or two.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we were talking, I mean, we had a chat last week, and that was the first one we had in probably 2 months. So, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and, you know, you had you had that lady on that you turned me on to. That was pretty cool.
Alicia was on last week. That was really good.
Yeah, and I watched that one, and then I had other shit I had to do, but, you know, it's just fucking, look, man, I mean, we're watching the collapse of our society, and all we can, you know, that's why we only talk every couple of months, sometimes 6, you know, because we know what's coming. We can do it every fucking week, and right now we could probably end up with, you know, if we did open a dragon, I bet I could end up making it a job, right, with these new super caps that they're fucking doing, you know.
Right.
What we used to put out a couple of years ago, we could turn into something where we might be able to make a little money on it, right now, because I'm watching people do it every day, you know, with the fucking super chat, you know. But in doing so, you're going to be exposing yourself more. You're going to become like that money, and you're going to want to turn into a goddamn Alex Jones, and look what they're doing to him. So.
Well, the dragon was a wake up call. We were warning people, hey, listen, this shit's going sideways. Well, we're well down that rabbit hole, so it's not no longer screaming from the rooftop or you know, on the soapbox. Now it's like, oh yeah, we're in it.
No, you know what it is? It's digging the fighting hole. It's digging the trench. It's stocking the water, right? It's putting the crops in and hoping you'll have time to get them out. You know, it's trying to live life like there is a tomorrow, while knowing that tomorrow is very sketchy. And so many things tip this rocking boat. You know, look, it took an assassination of some fucking idiot from Serbia, right? And that set off fucking World War I. You know, and that was just some fucking mistake, right? First time the gun didn't go off. Second time the fucking guy turned the wrong corner. Right? And we end up in a fucking shithole that we're still paying for, right? The way they divvied up the fucking Middle East, the way the fucking powers that be at that time divvied up the fucking world, and then America had to start throwing its weight around and thinking we needed to be involved way more in fucking international politics because we were getting the short end of the stick. Fuck that, man. It's ridiculous, and we're still paying for it. And to think that something like that can happen right now in America today, or multiple spots in the world. And it looks like people want that to happen. More so than ever. I mean, we got half our government wanting war with fucking Russia. All of our fucking media want war with Russia, right? They want war with fucking North Korea. They want war with fucking China. And China, like I continue to say, might be the one we will actually get into.
Did you see that article this week, Mule, about the overflights of the Chinese islands in the South China Sea? And there was a media pool going around with the Navy aircraft, and the Chinese were warning them off.
Yeah, and America's not buying that's Chinese property, and China's saying it is. And what does that usually lead to? Somebody doing something fucking stupid.
Yep. It's just it's the first person to act stupid.
For all the jokes that people say about the Space Force, why the fuck do you think we want one all of a sudden? Is it to fuck with Russia? No. Russia's doing everything it can to use all the fucking cash it can to keep that space cow going, including charging us like triple to send shit up, right? But the fucking Chinese, they've been hip to space for a while and doing all kinds of shit nobody knows about. Why the fuck do you think they want to do an American Space Force? While we're pulling out of fucking NATO.
I think the better statement would be, why do you think we have a Space Force? Because if they're talking about it, it's probably already in the works.
Oh, yeah.
Just like so many other things. It's like, we don't...
If we're hearing about it, it's already been implemented.
Yeah, they didn't spend those trillions of dollars, on toilet seats and everything just to have a nice place to sit down.
Oh, you mean the trillions that were missing? That are unaccountable?
You used to go to NASA, right? Went into the military-industrial complex. We all know this shit. This is like, duh. That's like people still think that there aren't floating fucking nukes.
Why do you think they're terraforming the planet?
Anyway, so it's just ridiculous. Anyway, had any tuna lately, Rebel?
What?
Have you had any tuna lately?
No, man. I gave up tuna after Fukushima.
That's what I'm saying. When you say that, everybody laughs. Everybody has to think for a minute. Why? Because they forget that fucking nuclear goddamn power plant's still burning a hole towards the Earth's crust. Yep. They have yet to cool that motherfucker down.
Nope.
And guess what? The radiation levels on the fucking West Coast, they went into that fucking history black hole that so much shit's going into. That's why I'm like, please let the DNC sue Julian Assange. Please. I would love for that to happen. Make WikiLeaks expose who the leaker was. Please. Because we all know who it is. Right? And Assange don't give a fuck. He's already told us. He's already said it. He's already said it, Seth Rich, without saying it and breaking somebody who had, true journalistic integrity of not giving up their source. So you're going to sue him, make him give up that source, and you're going to destroy the DNC and the Clintons and half our fucking government. And I say, please do it. Please expose all that deep-seated corruption. You know what? And then put fucking Trump in jail for the shit that he did before he became president. Because I think part of his fucking gig on president is trying to make his way into fucking heaven. But I'm okay with that. The Joker, he's so fucked up, he's doing everything I want.
Yeah, for right now, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Do I know he's going to fuck me somewhere down the line? Of course. Do I see him trying to fuck me every time I turn around? Of course. But you know what? Sometimes the Joker's going to fuck everybody. I'm one of everybody. To break the system, everybody's got to hurt a little, including me.
Well, yeah, and that's the biggest thing is, and we've talked about that, is like it's going to be really painful, and but like we've said too many times, we have to expect it and just prepare for it, because the alternative is even worse.
Well, we ended up with the prettiest of two ugly sisters.
I'm sorry, my daughter was talking. What did you say?
So we ended up with the prettiest of two ugly sisters.
Yeah. 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 Cinderella done ran off. Oh. And the funny thing is why we can pick up right where we left off at 6 months, 2 months, a year sometimes without talking, and it doesn't feel like we missed a beat. It feels like we were talking last week. Because some things do change. People get older, but nothing really does change. We're still turning our wheels towards an ultimate fucking failure, and you see it every day. And that's why I love watching your stinking farm videos, HD. I might not comment much anymore and all that shit, but I watch them. Still watch the lunchtime chats, even though I don't always comment. Because you put out awesome content, So maybe not as much video as I like. Sometimes watching you drag the track can get a little annoying. But
it's funny because I think the nation's more divided now than under Obama and all the crazy shit that was happening then. It's 10 times worse now.
Well, while I agree it seems worse, I think that's more of the media. They still can't get over the fact that.
Listen, all you have to do is go outside and see these fucksticks. It's retardedness is rampant, man. I mean, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
See, that's not true. And I'm saying it's backed me up a little bit. Once you get here in the middle, once you get away from them fucking cities, it's not as crazy as people think. America's actually out here. We're doing well. The economy is doing well. More unemployment, super down. Yes, housing prices are up, but when people have jobs, they can pay a little more for a house, right? So, like I said, our farms are doing beautiful. Even with that bullshit, our farmers are going to get paid twice this year. Once from the government for the bullshit from soybeans in China, and the other time for those fucking soybeans, you're not going to burn them in the fields. They're going to harvest them and sell them to other resources, right? So we're actually doing pretty good out here. And most of us out here are saying, fuck those cities. And we live real close to Chirac. And you see that in the paper every day. But it's way different here 100 miles outside of it.
I'm just saying the level of stupid that I hear coming out of people's mouths on a regular basis is far worse than it was under Obama. I mean, because now they can blame the white middle-aged males for every fucking thing. You couldn't blame shit on Obama because he was the first black president. There'll never be another black president. I guarantee you that. Not after that record. It's a shame.
I agree, but I also know that again, it's part of that is where you live, right? Now I agree. White men, we're under the bus right now. It's just the way it is, right? And I'm okay with. I'm not okay with it, but I'm going to live through it. Why? Because we're still. If you go by race, which I don't give a fuck, we're still the dominant ones. We're still the ones that created most of this, no matter how much they want to try and tear it down.
We are minority.
No, we're not. No, maybe around you, brother, and maybe around Tony, and maybe around anybody who lives in San Diego, right? But up here in the Midwest, that is not true. And listen, most of the East Coast, it's not true. That's why they're bitching about.
Now that they hear you saying that, they're going to be busting them in by the gang loads, man.
Well, they're fucking already trying in all those places, right? That's what the diversification of Maine and Vermont and fucking New Hampshire and that shit that ran all through the fucking paper in the New York Times was, about how these white places need to be diversified. I'm not saying they're not saying they want to do that. I'm saying they're not going to be able to. because there's going to be pushback, just like there is in Europe, right? Everybody was bitching about this fucking migration wave, and eventually some countries went, wait a minute, especially the old Eastern Bloc, went, wait a minute, what? Poland's like, fuck you. Hungary's like, fuck you, right? Serbia, Herzegovina, fucking Bosnia, they're all like, what the fuck are you talking about? Even Muslim countries, Balkan Muslim nations are going, we don't want these fucking people, and they're not coming in. But you're not hearing about it. Why? Because everybody's still tuned into mainstream media and not working enough for themselves, looking and finding out the info. Right? There's countries that came in, joined Europe during NATO 10 years ago, and now are going, maybe we need to quit NATO. So, yeah. It's not going. It's going to be ugly though if it ends up race, but no, you know. But that's because people who lost 100 years ago and 200 years ago and were conquered by the stronger fucking people. Sorry to say, right? With the greater advancements in technology, right, are now coming back and saying, no, your brain gave you an advantage, and that's not allowed.
Well, we would hate to give anybody an advantage. You know, we know that the only reason people have an advantage is because of white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege that came from, let's go their evolutionary route, right? So millions of years ago, people who walked out of Africa went to some of the coldest climates in the fucking world, right? And because they had nothing other to do than try and survive through winters, they innovated. And that's the advantage we have through genetics from our ancestors. And then the constant strife and the constant building and destroying of civilizations caused our immune systems to become stronger, our brains to expand, our cognitive reasoning to expand, so much so that we took language that was created by somebody else and turned it into worldwide shit, and our culture took over the world. So we won, and now we got to pay for that? I mean, the English one, the Spanish one, the French one. Now, those civilizations can, eventually became lesser, but they're still there. Spain's still fucking there. France is still there. Great Britain, for its much smaller size, is still there. And our ideas, our language, the things we built still rule the fucking world. And we're supposed to pay for it because we won. We're the evil privileged ones because we won. And the only reason why we're evil and privileged because we've gotten so civilized, like you said earlier, Reb, that we now validate the people who we conquered and then let in, and we now let them complain to us about how bad we did them and how good they're doing now. Right? Because you notice none of these motherfuckers out protesting in America didn't drink a goddamn Starbucks before they went to the fucking protest line.
With their iPhones in their pocket?
Yeah. Paying an Uber to get there.
Yeah, right. I have a slightly different concept when it comes to looking at how we've developed, because I don't buy into the whole Western culture thing. Because all the smart people left Europe because Europe was turning into a bunch of tyrannical kings and everything else. So that's where our ancestors came from.
And then
our ancestors left, and we were partially trying to counter that by all the idea sharing after the fact of America formed, and the ideas of freedom inculcated in Western Europe to a certain degree, but now that's all been lost, and now they're going back down the route of centralized tyranny, for the last 30, 40 years.
Well, the shame of it is so are we, right?
Well, yeah, we've lost the momentum we had.
Well, in ways, since the League of Nations, we've encouraged it. Globalistic ideas and global tyranny controlled by individual governments, right?
Yeah.
The fuck do you think the UN was originally set up for? And just to let people know, guess who some of the original founders of the UN are? Oh my God, they were Nazis. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that Western culture, I just don't like the term, because our grandparents, our ancestors escaped from it for a reason,
well,
and people need to promote those ideas of getting away from centralized control more than trying to go back and promote them. We're losing ideas and we're losing momentum because everybody's trying to look back and like this big unified Western culture that never existed. It's a farce.
Well,
it's propaganda.
And I agree with you in that statement, but the way I was using it was the overall Western culture, not the Western culture that they try and claim. I'm talking about, yes, these Europe broke, right? And the cream of Europe, the people that were willing to work, came to America and created something better. And they skimmed off the cream of the best ideas of Europe and created something new, right? And the problem with that is some of those old European ideas still creeped in, right? And that's where we had to fight, right, between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, right? And at this point, we've become that federal tyranny here in the United States. You tell me how free you are when you need a license or permission, or you get fined for doing just about anything. You can get fined right now for burning a burn barrel on your property right now. I am 100% sure of that.
Sure.
Whereas,
especially here, we got tons of fire restrictions.
I'm 100% sure, right? And if you get caught at it, you're fined, and you might be prisoned, right? Look at the Hammonds, right? The fucking Hammonds are a perfect example. They're trying to clear their land to keep it healthy, and instead they go to jail for it, and fucking the land burns unhealthily and causes destruction, right? Yet the people who are trying to actually manage the land for whatever purpose ended up in jail. So we have a federal tyranny already, right? The guns that we love and say that when they come take them, we're going to fight for, we only have them because of the permission of the fucking government. And remember, we lost it for 10 years, and then they piddlingly gave it back to us. And now want to take it away again because the fact that it came back to us through a fucking, a sunset clause, everybody else lost their fucking minds. And don't think Georgie Bush said he would sign. If they'd have put it up there, he'd have signed it.
Right. Yeah,
and fucking true. Halliburton and goddamn Cheney were right behind him going, yeah, that's a good idea. We can't have these fucking peasants armed. This shit gets scary. Can't let them have a stimulated semi-auto fucking device. That's scary.
We can't have you being able to fire more than one round at a time. That's scary.
Yeah. It only protects muskets. Fuck you. Protects nuclear bombs if I could fucking afford it.
Right? You just figure out how to make one yourself. That'd be even better. Tactical nukes. Just being able to take out your neighbor's home. That's all you need to be able to do.
No, I should be able to take out the fucking cop shop down the street and the fucking National Guard 5 miles away. That's what I should be able to take out. But that's the honest. That's the honest. That's the shit that's going to get us all in trouble, right? That's what's going to get
being able to resist and stand up to the government, which is the American principles that we were founded on, is no longer taught or believed in by 98% of people out there.
And including the fucking, this is why it drives me nuts every time I see that fucking American flag with a blue line or a fucking moon lob sign with a fucking blue line through it, or talking about how they're going to, fuck you. Who do you think is coming for your shit? Every Nazi wasn't a fucking Nazi, but every Nazi was going to follow goddamn orders.
You missed the chat last week, didn't you, Mule? That's what we started off with last week.
Yeah, I did miss that.
Yeah, that's the whole premise of the beginning of that. Was like,
Well, try. Well, you know, it just fuck. HD. You're always. That's one of the few things you do comment on my shit. Right? Is when I start flowing that around because it just drives me nuts. You know, I could be friendly with a cop, but I'm never going to be friends. Because I've never met a policeman that had my best self-interest at heart. Unless it was like an emergency wreck situation. And even then, if you caused it or they think you might have, you're going to fucking jail. Right?
right. Well, yeah, they're just questioning until they figure out that you can incriminate yourself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. You know, they love getting you to incriminate yourself for shit you never did because you want to fucking appease the dude in front of you. Fuck. That's why I said never take a plea, right? Look at them fucking poor bastards from the Bundy Ranch situation and Mueller. They took the fucking pleas, and they are going to be fucked.
Oh, yeah,
They'll appeal, but it's going to go to the fucking Ninth Circuit.
That's not even funny, is it? Oh man.
No.
Right.
And you know, all these motherfuckers that are going, oh look, the Ninth Circuit Appeals finally came through and said that you can open carry, blah blah blah. What a win for the Second Amendment it is. You fucking stupid fucks. It was 3 judges. Now it's going to end up before the full Ninth Circuit. And what the fuck? Who do you think passes all this stupid shit in America, from the dog shit laws on down to the fucking magazine bans? It's the fucking full Ninth Circuit, not some 3-judge panel with 1 judge fucking, 2 judges that can control that 3-judge panel. 2 conservatives, right, that might agree on that. And guess what? There's fucking 7 more goddamn liberals on the rest of that goddamn court. So, yeah. I'm sure my kids will be happy that I actually came into this chat because they've been hearing this shit for months now.
They've been having to deal with it on the side because you didn't get able to get the vent, so you got to vent on them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully, we're able to ease their pain a little bit. I'm glad we could help.
Right. Oh, it's fucking nuts, man, and it's so fucked up that we really can just get right back into the same conversations after years. Why? Because nothing's fucking changed. Even with me winning $20 from Rev over Trump winning, right? Nothing.
I was waiting for him to bring that shit up.
That was an easy 6er, right?
I should have bet you,
I
would have made a little more money.
I think he could have won. I said he's not the savior. That's all I said.
Oh, but I agreed with that. I always will. Nobody's going to be. If it's not us saving ourselves, nobody's going to fucking save us unless this really is the end times and all this weather shit is just the 6th horseman of the apocalypse, right? God decided to put up a couple of new ones, right? 5 and 6, nuclear disaster and weather fucking disasters. 5 and 6. Guess what? You don't get the regular 4, just death, pestilence. You don't get the rest. No, you get them all. Now we added 2 more.
Well, they're calling for it. I've heard one of them call for economic collapse. I've heard one of them call for all-out civil war. I've heard one of them call for just you go down the line. They're calling for it. They're calling for it. So.
Yeah, when you have the media coming out in America and saying, I wish for a fucking economic collapse so we can get rid of it.
That's another one.
Yeah, it's just, game over. We're done. Make sure you got your powder dry and hopefully you don't live in a city, a West Coast, East Coast city, hopefully. I pray for all the poor bastards too. I pray for you guys that are too damn close to California. That's why fucking Tony's out of his mind. Yeah, you guys want to have a get together? We'll do it in North Carolina.
Why North Carolina?
Because those fucking Southern boys will definitely keep the Yankee hordes from coming down, right? And it's far enough away from California that when Yellowstone goes off too, because it's all coming at once, right? Look at the earthquake, Yellowstone, and a giant fucking vortex fire, and it'll just wipe out that whole fucking side of the country.
It won't matter then if that happens. Nothing will matter. It won't matter. Politics will be out the window at that point.
Yeah, but North Carolina will still be pretty good. And you got the Blue Ridge Mountains. You know, you got some fucking beautiful shit out that way. You know, it's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
that whole
I know.
You know, I mean, worst come to worst, go visit Jaeger in the Tennessee Valley. You know,
we'll let Tony knock on the door for us.
It'll be the welcoming party.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to watch out. Jaeger's gonna be on the roof, getting ready to kill people.
Think he's gonna have his bags packed, magazines loaded.
Yeah, magazines loaded.
Oh man, last time I actually peeked in on him for a minute here the other day. It came on full 30. I noticed it, and he's out training anti-poachers in Africa right now.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's a good gig.
Cool.
I mean, that's some good work.
it was kind of interesting video. First fucking Jaeger video I watched in years.
I tell you what, we need to start working on is we need to start training South African farmers and getting them armed up. That's the next mission.
That's pretty radical speech right there.
It's a sidebar conversation I have with other people.
Mm.
No, I guess there's either Israeli former special forces or former Mossad guys down there training them right now as well. Getting the South African farmers organized.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And hey, just to answer a quick one from Irish Vet, right? Because I'll always answer Irish. But and to me, he's the original Irish. Hibernia's son, yeah, he's the second Irish. I knew Irish at USMC first. So
right.
He's the original Irish. But, right, back in the day, cops were different than they are now. They're trained different. They associate different. They've become way more incellular than they used to be. And it's part of their fucking training and part of that particular culture. So don't think they're coming to save you. They might save somebody in their family, but they're not coming to save the general population of the people they're policing. They're not taught that anymore.
Yeah, the training is all centralized and directed from the federal level down. They're taught the people are the enemy.
Yeah.
They don't have any duty to protect anyone.
No, and if you talk to the cops, you know, I know plenty of cops that end up quitting after like 5 years. I've met a few. Why? Just because of that. It's inbred into from small town to big town. Not sheriff's departments is funny, but they're getting there. But that the police are the people are the enemy of the police and the government.
Well, God bless them, because I would never be a cop. You couldn't pay me enough. No way. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, you couldn't, you know, at one time you could have. At one time I had that kind of half-assed idealism and corruption enough to be a cop, especially in New York.
I like how you throw that in there. True story.
Yeah, well, because
I mean, they're the gang. They're the gang in blue, man. They're one of the largest criminal organizations there is. You know, that from their police unions on down.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that to be flippant either.
No, and you know, one time they were always corrupt, right? They would always allow a certain amount of human vice to be allowed to happen, and they always took a skim off of it, right? But they did try and keep the general population's best interest at heart at one time, some places, right? And most people, once you become an age to think about being a cop, if you know, it is a little idealistic and a little bit of corruption and power tripping.
Well, yeah, it's just like, you know, the 1%er thing. You know, they'll allow certain clubs to exist in certain areas because then they can keep out the riffraff. They'd rather deal with one organization than several.
Yes. And that's why the destruction of the Italian mob on the East Coast and a lot of the biker gangs on the fucking West Coast and the shit that they've been doing when they start picking apart our homegrown criminal organizations is they allow these other ones to rise up that they can't control. And that's where we end up with shit like MS-13 and fucking the cartels that are deep into America. Nobody talks about how deep the cartels are here.
Shoot, MS-13's been here for 20 plus years.
Yeah, and MS-13, while it's a big, dangerous gang, it is kind of a joke compared to the fucking cartels that they never fucking talk about. Why? Because in a lot of ways, all that dope money, because we've kept drugs illegal for so long, that all filtered into the cops on both ends, so they're the most corrupt fucks. They'll be the ones driving the fucking drugs to the next town, right? And then bust anybody with a bag of weed there to be able to steal all their fucking property.
Man. More things change, the more they stay the same now.
Hey, how about, you know? And the fun thing, though, is now I'm old, so cops really don't fuck with me. And then I'm a pro Second Amendment guy, so they think I'm on their fucking side. Meanwhile, I'm going, no, it's nuts and head because your vest is in the middle. I'm not taking those fucking chest shots.
Right, we were talking about, did you hear about that incident in Florida a couple weeks ago where they had that back to school event and the guy opened fire at the event and then the bystander was carrying and shot the guy in the head?
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about, like, that was a pretty bold move because most people would at least, take a body shot or two before you, squeeze to the head. But I guess he went right to the headshot.
But the dude's still alive.
That's training right there.
You want to hear something funny? His dad has been all over fucking Florida newspapers saying he wished the fucking guy kept his gun in the holster and just reported him later.
What?
And yeah, go look it up, man.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That's whack right there. How do you report somebody when they're just laying people out? I mean, I guess he didn't injure anybody at the time, but it was only a matter of time. He just keeps spraying into that crowd. Yeah,
well, he was shooting at a guy that he had a beef with over a basketball fucking game, and they were struggling with the fucking weapon, and the concealed carryover came up and capped him, right? And he's in the hospital now. And the father showed up, and of course the newspapers came out, the media came out and started letting him give his sob story and say that he shouldn't have the person who shot the concealed carry holder should have kept his gun in his holster and took it down his license plate or something. But like you said, the guy was shooting into a fucking crowd of kids at a goddamn back to school event.
Yeah. Who in good conscience could do that, Like, you have no conscience if you think it's better to you've got the means there with you. It's not like you're unarmed. If you got the means, and you don't do anything, talk about being a coward. You might as well just slink away the rest of your life and just rot.
I'm going to be 100%. It's my kids, and I'm armed or unarmed. I'm still getting my kids out of gunfire and running towards the person who's trying to hurt my children, right? I don't give a shit if I got to take a couple and I die over it trying to save my fucking kids. So, but you're right. It's cowards that most of our country's full of cowards, and especially the goddamn police, because the only way they get a feeling of power is in their fucking badge and their gun, and you see it on a lot of these I love the fact that cops are wearing body cameras because you get to see their fucking cowardice.
Well, you also get to see their lack of training when they, shoot into a crowd like they're, playing video games or something. And it's like, what are you doing? You don't have a clear shot. You're not, your life is not in danger, but you're going to shoot, like the lady at the Trader Joe's, man. I just posted that over there on Liberty, and my God, what the hell? Not even on my best day would I try to take that shot.
Hey, one of my favorites is holding the old lady hostage with a knife to her throat, and they're going to take a shot at the hostage, and they have a shootout, and the old lady and the hostage both just get blown all to pieces.
You guys got to go back and watch Saints rant about that last week. Saints really went off about that last week. That was pretty
man.
Well,
Did
and
they?
then you look at all these.
Talk
Was
about
that the one with the shotgun?
No, they all had handguns. There was one guy
Yeah.
was to his left, and two cops were to the right, or three cops, and they had it on camera, body cameras. And one of them started shooting, and it was a feeding frenzy. Boom, 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 boom.
And
Wow.
they
Hit a lady in a walker. Unbelievable.
That's been going on for a long time, man. I remember when I was a kid in New York City. I just left, and Abner Louima, I'll never forget this fucking dude's name. Got capped trying to pull out his wallet to show he lived there. You know, so that sympathetic fire happens a lot, and they try and train it out at certain militaries, right? I'm pretty sure you, HD, and some of your training, they tried to train that out of you, that sympathetic fire. That when one guy shoots, everybody does.
Well, the cops don't have no rules of engagement.
No, that's a huge difference.
Well, and they have to them, they have to protect the city, not the individual, right? So capping that lady was just part of the course, right? To be able to get the fucking guy they were after.
And what was he suspected of anyway?
Oh, he had taken hostages in this little bodega type church in L.A. You know, I think he may have stabbed somebody in there, and then he was trying to get out, and the cops were there, so he had a knife to this woman's throat, and he was threatening to kill her. So the first cop shot body mass instead of not being trained to go for that headshot, right? And everybody else just started shooting, killed them both.
Well, that reminds me when they were after one of their own a while back. And,
oh yeah,
they shot every blue truck they come across. They just shot it up. Oh, sorry about that. We're looking for somebody in a blue truck.
Oopsie, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dorner.
Here's $1 million in taxpayer dollars to ease your pain.
And that goes to show you, you know, when a good cop tries to, you know, hold people accountable, and then he gets blackballed, and then you look how they did him. They burned him alive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it happens every day when people who do go in for all the right reasons find out what they're working in and they try and expose it, they're done. Look at that. A cop a couple of weeks ago tried to arrest his mayor and police chief, and half the city council, they fired him on the fucking spot. You know, and the only reason why they fired him on the spot and didn't somehow find a way to fuck this guy over worse than they may still was because he did it with media around.
Wow.
I said the other day, if the police come in, because they come in just like it was in the Wild West, where the old cowboys come in shooting through the window and, you know, shooting pistols in there and everything else. It's like the Wild West. So when the cops come in, you probably need to get out of there because they're fixing to shoot the place up.
I like that one where the guy's shooting through his own front windshield.
The Vegas one?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and imagine if you were driving the opposite way and a bullet killed your fucking kid because that cop wanted to be a super cop like he was on TV. Right? So, and then, you know, people want to tell me how these are the bravest, right? Well, tell me about the St. Louis cops that ain't going and busting all these people shooting off fucking rifles all over the place next to gas stations all over fucking St. Louis every weekend for the past fucking month. Going out with fucking what, you know, they like to call assault rifles, but it's in these bad neighborhoods, so no cops show up. They just keep letting them fucking do it.
What if the guy had his safety glasses on, or in 5 years they're going to say, well, Officer Dingleberry, we're sorry, but when you shot that car windshield out, it blew glass all in your eyes, and it's been in there so long now, you're, but anyway.
Officer Dingleberry.
Yeah, you know the guy didn't have his safety glasses on. He may have put them on, but I bet
Really?
he did before we started.
Who doesn't ride around with sunglasses on all the time?
Well, I mean,
well, you know, so then it'll be
Vegas.
It'll be the tinnitus because he blew his fucking eardrum out firing that goddamn Glock in there.
Yeah, no shit.
You like that?
But the other side of that coin is he tried to shoot out the window with his left hand, and then he thought, well, no, I don't actually train with my left hand. Maybe I better shoot through my windshield.
That's an award winner right there.
Right.
Well, hey guys, I gotta go. My phone's dying.
Hey, good hearing from you, man.
Hey, Tony's right though. We do need to get together offline one of these days.
Indeed.
If
Well,
you
so we can
guys,
tell.
well, you know what, HD, if you throw one of these up again next week, let's get in and make a plan to where we can get together and talk for real. Well, even though we always real talk here and live too, so it doesn't really, we can go live or not. I don't give a fuck. I speak the same truth on both, right? Whether it's in private or in for the world to see.
Right.
Because when they come for me, believe me, there's going to be a pile of steel case empty steel casings at my feet.
Amen.
Anyway, love you. Well, thanks for talking to you guys. It was awesome, HD. Really missed talking to you guys. Glad to call you guys friends. I already know you're patriots. Thanks for having me, HD. Hit me up next week.
Hey, thanks for dropping in, Mule. Cool.
Hey, Mule.
Well, how do we follow that up now that Mule's gone?
All right. Well, he's so funny, man. The way he slides things in there. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it, man. But it's just it's golden.
Right. Right. Yeah.
He's got that New York way about him that it's just great, man. No candy coating. No candy coating shit.
Right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, how are we going to
here for a good solid 2 hours there going on that tangent.
Right. Good times, man.
So what else is going on?
Your popularity is soaring through the roof, huh?
I wouldn't get that crazy. Come on. You hang around YouTube long, like you said, you're still getting subs. And you haven't done a video in how long? You just hang out. You just hang out long enough. People drop by and check it out.
Right.
But it is what it is. It's one of those things you never thought you'd be where you are. You go back to look back at where we started. It's like, who would have ever thought? Even though it's not
right.
It's not like a big deal, but it's like, it's a lot farther than I expected this to get, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice because you have a lot to contribute. So that's why you're growing and things are happening. There's a lot of folks out there that just put out good content, man, and for whatever reason they it's hit and miss.
Yeah, there's tons of. I mean, just one of those things. I was looking at it like there's so many different communities. I guess you want to call it that, sure. But even on the same subject, just like the homesteading, there's so many little just units of collectives. People pull together, they get a little community going, and it's not that they want to be exclusive, but they just bond with each other. And there's groups all throughout YouTube of all the same subject, and they just and they build upon each other. It's really good stuff.
That's why, like-minded people.
Yeah, that's why when we had this whole falling out last fall, I'd already committed to like putting more into YouTube. Trying to get more content out, talking more about things. Trying to rule the world or whatever you want to call it. That's the way I say it. Trying to get the message out. I'd already committed to that before they went into that whole demonetization, small channels going away thing that was getting everybody all upset. And I did that video, and I'm like, you're here to spread the word. Now, if
Right.
it's up to YouTube or how they're going to mitigate that or prevent you from doing it, but until they stop you from doing it, why would you leave? Because this is the only place you're going to reach people who don't have, don't know who you are and don't have common interests. Like, they're not going to find you on Patreon or wherever else you go for whatever reason. They're not going to find you in that little niche space. It's just not going to happen.
Well, a lot of us, I think, YouTube has become our TV. I mean, I don't watch TV. I don't watch public TV. I don't have cable. I watch YouTube.
Right.
So it's my I guess entertainment isn't the right word, but it's
Well, partially. I mean, sure, you get some entertainment out of it,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah,
But
information gathering or trying to find.
yeah, just trying to, yeah, exactly. To stay informed, learn something new, have some laughs, you know, you name it, man.
Yeah, it's all out there. That's the craziness of YouTube too. It's like when we were talking about Alex Jones, I was like, how many subscribers does he really have in the big picture? He had more. I mean, he had a couple million, I guess, but still, in the big picture, that's like, how many people are subscribed? How many YouTube channels are there? Like, how many
I
people are
think
logged into YouTube?
I think a lot of that though is there's a lot of people that really love him, and there's a lot of people that really hate him. He's an acquired taste,
Oh,
but
sure, yeah,
but
but that's not the
like I
point, though.
oh, no, but I mean, what he's done, I give him credit, man. I mean, he's put it together where, like we said, I listen to the David Knight show, and that's his guy. Um, I can't digest Alex, but David Knight is right up my alley. I can handle that. Lou Dobbs, Tucker Carlson, all those guys. I can listen to that, you know, without too much problem because I get irritated really easy. So
Right, right.
You can
Yeah,
flip
but
it. This is ugly, and it might get a white lash or a slap on the back, but you can always go to CNN and listen to a lesbian woman tell you what's going on in the world.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if you got anything wrong with that, you don't have to. It's your choice, but it's a choice.
right. Choices are good.
Not that there's anything wrong with those kind of women. I'm just saying, if that's where you're getting your information, okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched news in so long. Like, people will talk about things like it was on Fox News. Like, man, I haven't watched Fox News in probably 6 or 7 years. Like,
Right.
seriously.
Well,
I just like the Lou Dobbs. He was on TV when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Some of these old timers, to see them in this day and age with all the shit they've seen, um, is interesting to me.
no, I don't have TV. Everything I do is through the internet. I don't, you know, I watch Tucker Carlson, something like that, but that's it. I don't even watch their news. But Lou Dobbs and all those old guys like that, oh yeah, man, they're still there because they don't have the bus load of trash following them around. You know, got one of them beat his girlfriend up, and the other one was holy cow, and then the other one they've had wild parties spanking one another in their panties, and good gosh.
What are you talking about? Wait,
All the
He's
news
talking
people
about Bill O'Reilly or something.
no,
oh,
you talk. No, you know you got your people over on CNN. Like, what's that guy's name? Anderson Cooper had pictures of him in his underwear. Somebody was paddling him.
oh, really?
Oh
I mean,
shit!
That's
come
not
on, guys.
surprising, really. It's one of those things you're like, oh, okay, is it really surprising or shocking? Like,
No, that's why nobody says that's fake. Everybody goes, okay, that's par for the course. You
right?
know,
Yeah.
Wow.
But then people give them absolute, the majority of the population give them absolute credence and leeway whenever they make a statement on the news or on their broadcast. Like they don't. I mean, how easily is that person compromised when they're in that situation to just say whatever they're told to say? They're never doing it for the right reason, or they're never going to check what they say. They're going to just say what they're told because they got no other recourse.
Everything comes down from the top. They said that everything comes down from the top. It's all handed down. Here, this is what you talk about. This is what you say.
Right.
Well, I think even to be in any of those positions, you have to be compromised in some way or form.
They
That
would
way
think
they
so,
know
right?
that way they know they can control you at the end of the day. You're not going to go rogue. And if
No
you do,
surprises. No
they'll
surprises.
whack you, you know.
Another dirty dossier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they said they were going to get Hillary Clinton was going to get old Matt Lauer after that presidential deal because of the question he asked her, or some questions he asked her. And look what happened to Matt Lauer.
Oh, is he out?
No,
Oh yeah.
he got
He,
hammered on a bunch of sexual stuff.
Well,
he,
I kind of made that statement a couple years ago too. That it seems like what I see is you have a lot of the old guard that's compromised like that. That's easily made to get rid of, and they're replaced by the true believers, the people that they're not in it for the money to benefit. They're there because they're diehard communists, whatever you want to call it.
Runs through their blood. Yes,
They're
sir.
true
Run.
believers in the system. They're not. They haven't been got there just to kind of make advantage. They're not the Pelosi's and the Feinsteins who just take advantage of the situation. They're there to push the agenda and really get it in place. And I
And
see a lot of that going around that.
those people right there, they're not coming back. They're hooked in for good.
I don't care if they peddle their smut to adults, but when they peddle that smut to the kids, it really is taking it to the next level, and that's where I got to draw the line. Because children are impressionable, and I mean, look what they do with the movies and everything else. It's horrifying.
Well, that's where we are. Everything is designed to go after the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So you going to go out to Hot August Nights?
I hadn't planned on it. Is it in next weekend?
I think so.
Yeah. No, I hadn't even thought about it.
I've seen all the cars in town and digging it.
All right. I was in town for a little bit today, and I didn't really notice that many, but I wasn't particularly paying attention. But I didn't see a whole lot of them. But this is the first weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they could be doing other things. They may be just
Yeah.
taking
I was
advantage of the no smoke and going to Tahoe while they can.
right. Yeah. I was just telling the wife, I said it might be a good time to burn the weeds now. No one will know.
That's a good point. You could get away with it. I mean, who's gonna know
Yeah.
the difference, right? It all
Yeah. You
smells
won't
the
need no
same.
permits. You won't need no permits because they won't be able to tell your smoke from the rest of the smoke.
Brutal week. This whole week was like, man. After a couple of
Brutal.
days, the eyes and nose and everything, it's like burning. It's like we're not even that
Brutal,
close
man.
to it. Can't
Yeah.
imagine what it's like being closer.
No doubt. Yeah, it's just nice to be able to see the mountain range around, because for the last week or so, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
Visibility was down to almost nothing.
Yeah, I think it was last weekend. Like it cleared out. I think it was Saturday evening. It cleared out really nice. And then that big cloud rolled in Sunday night, and it was just like that the rest of the week, just like miserable.
Well, I'm getting the eye from the lady here, so it was sure nice. It was sure nice talking to y'all and Tony and Mule and Saints and everybody. And you do this again, I'll catch you, man. I was just chilling. I was actually listening to the whole trial update.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we posted the links below to a couple of other things, but shenanigans.
Right. Just like old times, man. Felt good.
Hey, it was good to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Right on. Have a good one, Rebel.
See you, Rebel.
Late. Take care.
Today, I guess I'm going to kick it in the bucket, too.
All right. Well, it's about that time. It's the midnight hour here, so it's bound to be almost daylight where you're at.
Coming up on 2 o'clock. It's about time to
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
make sure the dog hadn't drug nothing dead up on the porch and, all the good country stuff.
See what all his snacks he's got for the night. Right on.
Well, appreciate the invite and all that good stuff. Keep digging.
All right. I think we're going to check it out, folks. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for checking out the chat. Appreciate it, everybody coming in. Good discussions in the side chat. We survived another one, but definitely good to see some old timers in here. And while it's some of this, it's rehashing the old. It's still realizing that everything old is new again. But we appreciate everybody and thanks. And we will see you next time around. We might have something going on in the morning. You never know. Drop by anytime. Remember, we do have the contest. Not the contest. The supporter giveaway video. Go check that out. Do a VR. Leave a comment if you want to enter in, and we're just giving away some stuff to everybody just for helping out the channel all these years and hanging out with us. So go check that out if you're inclined. Have a good one. Live free.